another one of you running around? Like if you could just like multiply yourself, like
Like a
there's like two
clone.
of you. Yeah, you could clone yourself. Would
I
you
think the boys kind of like traumatized me of ever having a clone.
really?
But I don't know, man. I think that kind of makes sense, right? Like, I mean, to have two places at once, but wouldn't that just be like a secretary? Because like, if you have a twin, I don't think you're gonna be like, "Yo, go do my shit for me." They're gonna kind of
Yo,
live
the way that I think, it's like it's weird. If there was a, it was like if I were to clone myself, I would always be fearful that that clone would try to like,
take you out.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Is that
that's
weird?
no. That's 100% because it's what is it like personality? You're trying to find out who's the important one or the real one. It's like those guys, the Mauler brothers from
Yeah,
Invincible. It's like whoever wants to be the original, but none of them are.
exactly.
True.
I would always.
What is up? Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and you're here with the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I am here with my boy Brian D from New Jersey.
Yo.
Brian. Wait, I have to go back to that because that was super interesting. That was a great question. I don't
Was
even know.
it
So yeah, that was an excellent question. I thought that was super cool. I don't know why.
right
It
up
was just
your
like
alley?
I had just been like, I guess like in a small vent, right? Like I was telling you about like how my week was just super like packed with stuff. And that was such a good question because I was like, oh, you know what? Like that's great. But you made a really great point. Like, because I like psychological like ideals and like I guess like just ways to deal with things. And you brought up a really good point that you were like, well, I don't know, man. I'd be kind of worried that the other guy would be trying to take my other clone would be trying to take me out. And it's like that is super interesting because, like I said, it just went right into Invincible and the Mauler brothers. And then you were going to say something, but of course, like we were going to run out of time and we had to do the intro. But like, what were you going to say? Because that was like, I don't know, like I was just like, my brain opened up and I was like, I don't know if you felt it, but I was kind of like, but that like woke me up super hard, man. What were you going to say right now?
You know what's always interesting is like you're such a very like calm dude, not really showing ranges of emotion too much, but there's always that, like there's always one of those questions that spark your interest. It's always funny to witness that. Honestly, I don't even remember what I was gonna say. I probably was just gonna say, that's just something that I always kind of
Considered?
worried about. Yeah, if I was just thinking about that, yeah.
No. That's I 100% think that. But you know what? Like, let's just take that same concept and put it into another analogy that's more prominent. But like, I don't know if you noticed, but like, there's certain scientists that have said like the year of 2024 is like the birth of true AI and like actual partner AI, like actually having like body AI personnel.
Yeah.
And there's been like all of these opportunities where you've seen it before, like especially like in what CMIS, like those big shows that do like the industrial and technology conventions or whatever, you'll actually have like the waiter robots or the robots that clean huge apartments or like multi-million-dollar companies, like, and they're really like they're really advanced. There's
Okay.
one video that I saw this past week that it was like a flyby, like one of those like TikTok 1 minute kind of reels, which I've become more addicted to in the last like 3 weeks. I don't know if that's like a thing that everybody's doing, but like
Okay.
when I was scrolling by, it was this one dude and he's surrounded by like four of those like the robots that look very like butlerish. Like they have like a wheel on their feet and they're just kind of like, oh hello. Oh, like the one from Astro Boy, right? The main one. I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember the butler one.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of them, and the guy goes, all of a sudden, he just yells out to four of them in a room. He just goes, all right, everybody, tidy up. And they all just scramble, and they just start cleaning up the hotel. And I was like, can you imagine how far we've come with technology from where I would say, like, what, 5 years ago, we would have to be like, Alexa, please play this or whatever. And now we're at the thing where this guy's like, oh, hey, everybody, clean up real quick. Hurry up, guys, because someone's coming. And the robots react to that.
Okay.
Like, do you ever feel, I don't know how big of a nerd you are at this, but did you ever see the Animatrix?
No.
Okay, so there was a in the the chronicle of the Matrix movies, but the Matrix directors and all the people involved decided to get.
They made it anime. That I know. I just never. I'm aware of it. I've just never
Well,
seen it.
even cooler, it was kind of like the way they do the Jedi voices, like where they get a bunch of artists at the time that are like top of the line anime artists, and they make them do different stories.
You mean like
And one,
you mean like Visions? You mean?
there you go. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. I forgot. I can't remember. But yeah, Visions. Visions was the one that had the multiple artists and different stories and kind of like adaptations how they feel Jedi is in their culture. And they did the same thing with the Matrix. But what was cool was two of those episodes in the Animatrix were like the chronological origins of how the Matrix was started.
Okay.
And what it was it's very much like iRobot, where they added these robots into the culture. Everybody pretty much had one, and they just launched the party of all the robots being activated, and then they got to work, and eventually humanity became lazy around the robots, and robots through AI. I guess like the probability of it's super good, or not good, but like it's more common. But they started to become aware, and they started to create the variable of having consciousness, like being able to like kind of like, well, like think like, do I really want to do this? And there was one situation where like a robot was in a household, and like the dog like attacked the robot, and the robot killed the dog. And then in the process of it, the human then attacked the robot. And of course the rules are like usually like that's what scientists are always like, nah, the rule is it's in their DNA, they can't kill human beings or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like the kill switch, or you know how like the romanticized ideas, like they put a rule in it and it's okay. But yeah, it ended up being where the robot had to be sent to court. He lost and then was executed. And then once that happened, all the other robots decided to revolt.
Okay.
And that's how it all started. And then all of a sudden, the robots then excommunicated themselves. They left. They started a new country. I want to say like in Iraq or Afghanistan, somewhere in the desert. It became very like flourishing with like technology. They became the highest economy, the country with the highest economy for technology. Then human beings wanted to ask them to become involved. They sent two representatives that were like the presidents of the robots. And when they got there, they signed a treaty, and then the robots were like a decoy, and they exploded and they killed all the humans, and it turned into just a huge attack. It was like Age of Ultron, but just it's so good.
So what you're saying is if I wanted to watch it, you would just spoiled it for me right there, right?
Basically. Kind of. It's like 20 years, Brian. If you haven't seen it and you knew it was there,
a full-blown fucking spoiler of something that has nothing to do. How did we even get here? Like, how did we?
Okay, so that was the question. The question is,
we're talking about clones. You're talking about fucking dogs that are killing or biting.
No, but robots, that's why I was saying, like, what if, like, with the same aspect, but we took the idea of the clones and we got robots, but like with the idea of how fast, like, robots have kind of adapted to the times and the time frame that they're in right now. Like, your aspect, like, do you ever think AI would come to that kind of like consciousness to be like, you know what, the problem really isn't the planet, it's not really like how we're doing things, it's literally just humankind, and then just win against us? Like, do you ever feel like that's like the future, like AI is like it's gonna wipe out humanity one day?
Well, one of my favorite Oscar Isaac movies, Ex Machina, basically covers that entire thing. That's basically what happens.
What is it? I Machina or something?
Ex Machina, yeah.
Ex Machina, right?
Yeah. So basically, that's verbatim what you just said is exactly that entire movie, which is scary. Yeah. It's definitely something that is possible. Obviously, if you go back to Terminator, you got Skynet. Right. So, there's been movies that have been replicating that same thing. So of course it's in the back of your mind.
Do you think that there's any like course that we take in that situation that has a really good idea on how we can prevent it from happening?
I don't know. I gotta watch what I say. I mean, I don't think humans are that smart, honestly. I think if we built something that was able to position itself in that way, I think we would be cooked. I think we would be.
Yeah,
Cooked.
I think we're yeah, I think we're cooked. The way
You would need everybody on this planet to be on the same page, and I don't know. Like
that's so hard to do already.
This isn't fucking Independence Day. Like Will Smith is not gonna jump in a fucking aircraft and save us from shit. So it's like I don't know. We all might be done.
No, that's absolutely correct.
Speaking of cooked, have you gotten an update on your boy Dr. Disrespectful, bro?
Nah, fuck that guy. But man, dude. So it's been wild, hasn't it? And we talked about this last week for a little bit, and we were like, man, you know what? It's pretty fucked up already, but I just feel like it's gonna pop off. And I think like right as soon as we got off, like offline for the day, like shit started to pop like 50 minutes after that. The last thing when we were on the show, we had found out is that Dr. Disrespect came out, laid out a tweet, kind of said that he was that he admitted it. So 100%. I think I know this guy, but I don't know why this motherfucker waited so long to do it. If he wants to kind of like
no. Hold on. Time out. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I got to interject. This guy is way too rich, right? He is way too rich to be making these PR
stupid mistakes.
Not even the mistakes, because that would be talking about, him having morals or whatever. I'm talking about just on the surface level that his PR team should have told him, or his lawyer should have told him, you aren't making any statements. And you're damn sure, and you're not, and if you are going to talk about this, you're not going to tweet about it and edit it 3 times. Like that's not how you would have wanted to do that. So that was a mistake. That was a mistake on his part. He basically confessed that there was something there, and rightfully so. Every sponsor that he had and every deal that he had was just finito. He's cooked. And the one thing that I've noticed when it comes to people that are just outright denying allegations, they're very definite, right? They're definite, and like towards the end of his statement that he said, or the tweet that he sent out, he said that I'll be back, and if you think that this is it, you're wrong. Very very defiant. Yeah, he's cooked, bro. He's never coming back.
I mean, we all know, we've all watched him before, and we've known him for a pretty long time. I mean, especially gamers. You and I have talked about it. I think we've all said, like, I used to be a fan of Nick Merckx, and I mean, Dr. Disrespect. There's like the videos of like fans coming up and kind of breaking his heart, getting him to break character. Yep. I think that's where I got more enjoyment, is people that kind of got him out of character. And then, of course, Tim the Tap Man. Tim the Tap Man's just a funny man. He's just fun to watch overall. Z-Landers can, like, eat an ass. I don't really like that dude, but Tim the Tap Man is always a cool guy.
Yo, watch your mouth about Z, bro.
I hate that guy. I don't know why, dude. Such a
out of everybody that you just named, the most nice person
is the guy Z-Lander.
Is the guy Z-Lander, the one you said go fuck himself. Like,
I don't know.
Other guys you like, they're all pieces of shit, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
So like Z-Lander, he's always like this jerky kind of guy. I just don't like the way he carries himself online, but he's got the skill to back it up. Like, don't get me wrong, like in games, like he's got the skills, but yeah, he's just really weird and cocky. But I like that he rode that whole like he's a cheater thing for a bit, and then he would just like just go and fucking like gut punch everybody with his just skills. But yeah, Tim the Tap Man, he's always been a funny guy. Nick Merckx, he's kind of like the Chad, the up and down dude, very like full of himself, very like normal. I'm gonna go lift weights and be cool or whatever, but like very Italian of him or whatever. But it's like I said, like with all those guys hanging around, Dr. Disrespect was always around that nature. There were parts of like the show of Dr. Disrespect you would watch because he's entertaining for what he does, but sometimes it just gets too much. Like it's kind of like, I don't know, like he can't carry it for too long until he like gets, I don't know, upset or whatever. But yeah, it's very, very crazy because, as a matter of fact, I messaged you guys earlier about this because like at 3 a.m. there's a YouTube channel. Of course, it's very right leaning. They're very like against the leftist guys or whatnot. So a lot of people don't like them. It's Geeks and Gamers, and those guys have been like up and down in the YouTube community, being called out on bullshit and stuff like that. But like, I mean, sometimes the guy gets it right, and of course he has his opinion, but sometimes he gets his news right. And last night he broke a bunch of crazy shit. Left a thing I thought it was important because it was at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Like this guy literally came up and was like, "Hey guys, some crazy things have popped off of Twitter, and it's 3 a.m. and I just thought it was important to put this out. It's about Dr. Disrespect." And apparently what the rumor is going around is that there was a group of like 6 or 7 guys at Twitch that created a fake account and were using that as talking and being a minor in Whisper with a bunch of different people, and Dr. Disrespect was part of it. And so there's like kind of like this idea that the guy was putting out there that like maybe Dr. Disrespect at the time didn't know that it was like a bust or something like that, where they were trying to bust people for being like capable pedos, like the way Chris Hansen used to do the Predator show or whatever, where they would have like a detective messaging as a minor to try to get these guys to bait and stuff like that. And that a lot of people are saying that the reason why the minor or the name of the person hasn't come out yet is because of the fact that it was these guys, the 7 guys that had put that site together, did a bunch of entrapment on a bunch of different YouTubers, and then got them and put them in as like, you know, sending their names off. Because apparently that was the big thing, is Twitch didn't like send them to the like the police and the FBI and the CIA for what they were doing, and apparently they did, but they ended up finding out that it was like a bust. It was something that they did internal. That's why it kind of like broke, that he didn't get like arrested or anything, and there was no wrongdoing or whatever. But it was, and then after shortly, all of those guys got fired, and Slasher and that Cody Connors guy was 2 of the 7 guys that were doing it. That's why those guys are ex Twitch, and they just got kicked out at the same time. Like, I mean, that doesn't really make anything better or not. I mean, because of the fact that he took the fucking bait. Like, he still fucking decided to talk to this bot or whatever it was, and he still was in a position where he was doing bad things as an adult, as a 35-year-old man. But the thing is like, that's why apparently he was able to win the Twitch case. I don't even remember all that shit. Cause like, to me, it's like, it's super fucking weird on how up and down it is. He gets fired, he gets banned because now apparently it was talking about an illegal minor, an illegal age.
No. He won the Twitch case because it wasn't anything about any
it wasn't about the pedophile stuff.
It wasn't about wrongdoing. It was about the fact that they violated his
contract,
his not his contract, but like his privacy. Like, he sued them for invading his privacy or some shit like that, and that's the reason why it was settled. It wasn't settled because there was no wrongdoings found. It was settled because it was basically that they invaded his privacy and he sued them, so they settled and they paid him out his full shit. I'm just gonna interject here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you said it. What difference does it make if they plotted against him? He still fell for it.
So far, yeah.
This is the reason why you don't put out that statement he put the other day.
Yeah.
Because if you don't put that statement out, at least when this pops, at least you have a leg to stand on and say, hey, look, you know, all this happened and nothing came out. They've reported it, it was investigated, and nothing came out. But now that you confessed to inappropriately talking to a minor, all of that is null and void.
Hey, you damned yourself.
That's the reason why this is mind-boggling to me. Everyone is just going to look at this on the surface and look at things but you actually have to like look at this shit. Like, if you would have just waited 1 more day, 2 more days to put out that statement, which it wouldn't have made a difference when you put the statement out at this point, right? If you just waited a few more days, you would have been able to dodge that. At least have a glimmer of hope of coming out of this alive. But because you tweeted that, you shot yourself in the foot and you're cooked. You're done.
Yeah, like, it's wild, bro.
This is the reason a couple of shows ago, I remember you asked me a question that I thought was strange because of just my outlook on certain things. And you asked me about you know, celebrity and if I get and if I'm in awe of celebrities, do I get nervous around celebrities or, you know, things of that nature? I remember that. And I told you then, no, because I don't worship these people. I don't worship these people. These people are human beings, just like me.
Yep.
You know, so I can't put too much stock. I don't know these people. I don't know Dr. Disrespect. I don't know, you know, Z-Laner. I don't know a lot of these people that I watch. If you think about it just in, you know, I don't want to say common sense, but if you just take the facts the way that they are, do I think that it's shocking and 30 something, 40 something year old man dresses up in a wig and a cosplay and is entertaining teenagers all the way up to adults, do I
Mhm.
think that they could be found doing some weird shit? That could that's not out of the spectrum of reality for me because there's something up there. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
yeah, it's good for entertainment, but you can't be I don't know this guy, so you know, I don't understand how he comes back from this. I don't understand how uh he's even able to be seen after this. It's even if uh there could have been a way of him getting out of this, found, a little bit not guilty in people's eyes. He did it all that.
Yeah, with the text, it's like you said, like with the tweet that he put out, where he kind of just admits to everything. It kind of damns him really quick, but you know what? Like I was looking at that the other day in the sense of like, why in the fuck would he do that? Like why? But it takes the piss out of everybody. Because if he just comes out, admits it and stuff like that, a lot of people can't just go off and make egregious conspiracy. It's like in the private chat earlier when Triggs was like, "Oh, here comes Chris with his conspiracies or whatever," and it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
well, you really can't come up with anything when he just comes out with say it. Then you have to like dissect everything he says and then try to make information from there. Which the only two concepts we got was if he knew at the time. I think that's what a lot of people are sitting on is if we knew that he was like some type of, if he knew that the person was like a minor or underage at the time, unless he was like not knowing and he thought that they were of regular age, or I don't know what the fuck. I think that was one of them, and the other one was there was no inappropriate actions done, even though the whole fucking thing had already been kind of blown out, right? Because he had already just having conversation in that aspect, I believe it's already inappropriate, which 100% of people are going to believe that also, right?
Yeah.
There's the moment that we found out, the moment that we didn't find out anything, he just came out and blurted it out, is that he just said it straight up. I was inappropriate with a minor. And so all of us already kind of, all right, bro, that was the nail, dude. You're fucked. Like, we don't fucking care for you anymore. You're a piece of shit. Like, I think most people are going to think that way. I mean, unless you're like a super diehard, like, I don't, care or whatever, which is really weird
Everybody
that there's still a lot of people out there like that.
everybody close to him has made a video kind of condemning what he did. So he
Yeah.
basically, with that tweet, he kind of alienated himself from any
Yeah.
type of ally he could have went. Because now at this as this time of recording, anybody that's ever streamed with them or
Done with him.
or yeah, they've come out publicly and said that they were done. So
Yeah, I think we talked about that too, where we were kind of like, man, I wonder if these guys knew. Like, I wonder if they kind of like knew what was up or had an idea or kind of like were in the loop a lot of this, because again, the two guys from Twitch, they talked to a bunch of Twitch streamers, and Tim and Nick Mercs and all those guys. Those guys are all Twitch streamers also. So this rumor or thing had to have been circling for the last 5 or 6 years, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't they even said that the guy that the one that was trying to sell tickets to like a concert or whatever, he'd been doing this since it happened, didn't it? Like, he had made that post about Dr. Disrespect being inappropriate with a minor like fucking years ago.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I could let me check this out real quick.
Because
Doctor,
then that doesn't even make sense logically. Because if he's been saying this for God knows how long, why now all of a sudden is this big
we got a
huge
special
shock?
guest. Check it out. Check it out. What's
Look
up,
who it
dude?
is. Well, well, well,
Well.
well, well, well. Look what the
You
cat drug in.
culprit.
Hi.
What's up,
Hi,
brother?
what's going
How
on?
y'all doing?
Nothing
No,
much,
good.
bro.
Right now. Or Brian, go ahead. I'm gonna look for this tweet real quick, see if I can find it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, this guy. I don't even know. Let's ask our other co-host that just joined. Are you familiar with Dr. Disrespect, sir?
Yeah, I remember when me and Chris talked about it. That was like one of the first streamers I kind of knew about when it was like the beginning of YouTube, White Boy 7th Street, stuff like that, you know?
So
And,
what's your take on all this? What are your thoughts?
you know, it's like, it's good and bad because obviously what he did was a bad thing, right? But the way he tries to play it off in that sense, I don't think that's cool. I mean, obviously, right? Like, but Did he deserve what he got? I mean, the dude was in it for a minute, man. Like now he can just retire and not fuck around with any other kids, you know?
Nice, nice. That's David, boys. The comic menu asks, wait. Who's that guy at the bottom? LOL. This is David, boys. What's up, King Yeti? Good to see you, my man. I forgot to say Angelarius. Angelarius, thank you for joining us. And Iris, of course, thank you for joining us too. And I was going to say real quick, just to intervene, the Cody Connors had made the post about the band stuff last year, like in 2023. So he had kind of like thrown it out there, the allegations already, but it just didn't get enough bite. Like
I don't know if you're looking at the tweet, but I can almost guarantee it says nothing about him texting a fucking minor.
No. It was just about the ban itself.
So yeah, so
it probably wasn't about it. You're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it just, if you think about it just logically, the only reason why this is making such a splash is because it's in detail what the band was.
Now, man, that's crazy as hell. So yeah, so David, what's up? So are you kind of caught up on all this Dr. Disrespect scandal kind of situation or what?
I mean, just what you and me talked about, bro. But I honestly just came in to say hi because I'm on my last like 5 minutes of lunch or whatever, and I just wanted to fuck up. I just wanted to fuck you guys up for like 2 minutes, like fuck up the rotation, you know? Like,
yo, you can never fuck up our rotation. Our rotation is tight over here, bro.
Yeah, man, we're straight, dude. Yeah, you mess us up. We're all the time, man.
Love seeing you though. Love seeing you.
Yeah, brother.
Always good. I'm a pleasure, man. You guys have a good stream. I just wanted to say hi, guys. So yeah,
appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Later. Awesome. That was cool. That was very, very nice. But yeah, there really hasn't been much, but I mean, what else are we looking for? You know what I mean? Like the guys.
I'm not looking for anything. Yeah, I'm not looking for anything. I think this is pretty much open and closed. I mean, if he does come back, which I doubt, but if he does come back, he'll have a home over on Rumble.
Rumble, I guess. Yeah, that's the fucking. You said Wild Wild West.
Yeah, he'll have a space over in Rumble waiting for him, or you know, I think he's even too wild for Kick at this point. He's too hot to touch even for Kick. But I think Rumble would be his landing spot if he does come back. He'll listen. I'm not shedding any tears for Dr. Disrespect. This guy can retire. He doesn't need a single more fucking dollar to his fucking name. He's gonna live a very comfortable life after doing some weird shit, which is more than I can say about
some people. You know what I mean? They're working hard and doing the right thing, man.
I have given all of the energy I'm going to give towards this Dr. Disrespect thing, and I don't foresee me having to speak about it again.
Yeah, that's church, man. You know, it's really crazy how there's more people like trying to see if there's more in a little bit. Hey, what's up, Nico? Good to see you, my man. Yo. Sweet, brother. Sweet. See you in a little bit, man. That's dope. Well, like I was saying, it's kind of hard. Like, it's kind of weird seeing people kind of still clamoring at it. I think it's even funnier now watching videos of the people that were like defending him so hard. Like, because it was kind of like everything was pretty much skimmed across the water. I mean, it was all plain as day as shit. You know what I mean?
This was a masterclass. I just want to interject one thing. This was a masterclass of watching people live on the fence.
Oh, dude, 100%. 100%. I don't know. There was just something about it that I was like, you know, we talked about this. We all talked about this offline like maybe 2 weeks ago or a week ago when it popped off. And the only thing we could all say was,
we need to see more.
It's about to get crazy, dude.
Like, it was the only thing that's so funny. The only thing that was like for sure guaranteed is that it was going to be a shit show.
It was going to be fucking wild, man.
It was going to be a shit show.
Yeah, there was something about it that when it all popped off, we were like, yeah, this is going to go as exactly the way it's going. And it's just going to keep free falling, dude. Just free falling. I just was not anticipating Dr. Disrespect or whatever the fuck. What's his name? Eric Balmer? Or what's his name? I don't know. He's got like a weird name. I don't know. Eddie Balm. Yeah, Eddie Balm. I'm just like, yeah, fuck him. I'm going to give him a nickname. That he was going to wild and out and just put that tweet up about like, you know what, guys? Was I inappropriate? Yes. Did I grab a kid? Yes. Did I kiss him? Yes. And it's like, dude, just stop. He's already dead. The meme. He's already dead.
If I was his PR, I'm sure. First off, he doesn't have PR. That's obvious. But if I was his lawyer, I would have quit.
I would have just been like, hey, man, It's been fun. Bye.
Yeah.
Like I can't do this no more. Well, I guarantee he ain't got no team no more, man.
Yeah, no. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for this house.
Yeah, thanks for paying my bills. That's cool, man.
I
thanks for being on time with your payments and shit.
This is where we had to split ways here, sir.
Yo, and you know what's even crazier than that? I think the last thing I saw people commenting about it and bringing it up was that YouTube got him, like, they're off. Like, YouTube already canned his ass, like, already.
They demonetized him, yeah.
So like with what you were saying earlier, like the only place you can go is like Rumble or Kick or whatever the fuck. Like, but let me ask you something, like, because I've heard you talk about those two platforms already. Like, what is your view on the Rumble and Kick as platforms? Because there have been times like me myself that I'm like, I'm looking for the next best thing for us on podcasting. Like, where should we try to live stream next to? And Rumble and Kick have both come up in my ideas, but I'm just like, oh, that's a lot more work. I don't want to add that to me.
Rumble is just the Twitter of streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like services like Twitter or X and Rumble, I think they're needed. I think it's a balance, it's a balance of, if you want to get your shit out and want to get your thoughts across, there's really nothing to stop you from doing it. So although it is the Wild Wild West, and you will see some pretty fucked up shit on most of those platforms, but I think it's needed.
Okay, yeah, because I really have no experience with those sites. Like, I don't really visit them and stuff. Do you ever go to them? Just
think of it. Yeah, no, I'm subscribed to both. So Just think of it. So just think of Twitter and how wild Twitter is and how unhinged Twitter is, and just think of if people were live streaming on a platform. Yeah. And there's really no parameters. There's nothing you can't talk about. There's nothing you can't say. It's not policed. It's not.
It's what controlled. Is it? It's Modern Warfare chat.
Yeah.
Fucking Black Ops 2 chat. Hey, what's up, Miguel? Man, good to see you, my man.
If you really want to see just how wild this country is, if you ever just want to pull the curtain back a little bit, hop on the Rumble. For you might want to get a little warm up by scrolling a little bit through Twitter first. Through X.
get the
warm up. Cleanse. Yeah, just stretch out a little bit. Pause. You don't want to pull a hammy when you're in there.
You jump right in there and shit.
And then just jump on in the Rumble and go for it.
That's dope, dude. It's a really good way to put it. I've never really been on those websites, man, so I can't really I can't really comment on them too much, but I've heard you say it a couple times, and right now, since it just came up in conversation, I was like, you know what, let me ask Brian, man, because and then to know that you're subscribed, which, I mean, that's even cooler, yeah, you're like the guy I could talk to about this, because like I said, I've never really been on there. I don't really get to go many places on the internet anymore. I don't know why. It's weird.
I'm only subscribed to a few people that are on Rumble, because again, there's nothing it's not filtered. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm gonna if I am a fan of somebody, I'm gonna want to see them unfiltered. I don't want to see them on a place where they can't say whatever's on their mind. You know what I'm saying?
True that. But yeah, Dr. Disrespect scandal really wasn't like a big talking point for us, but for today. But it is good to do the catch up, because I want to know where it's going. Do you feel that? I mean, we just said it right now, but do you think it's sliver of ideal that this guy's going to make a comeback and be able to return back to normal life, or do you think like he's just like dunsies, bro? Orlando.
I mean, just from what I would do if I was in a situation, I would just fade to black. I would just fall off the earth. No one would hear about me again. Listen, again, he's got money, right? So I don't know how long his money is going to be able to last him, but I hope he would have been doing the right thing with this fucking money, and he doesn't have to work again. I know I would not work again. If I were to somehow land myself in having as much money as that man, I would not be working. I would not be loading up a computer or a PC or anything. I tell everybody to kiss my ass while I'm on the fucking beach somewhere for the rest of my life.
What a note to retire on. What does he say? The 2-time 6'9", 290-pound pedophile, man. Goddamn, that's dirty as fuck, man. Alrighty, you know what I mean though? Like, what a fucking weird ass high note to retire on in life.
Being a 7-foot pedophile is crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts.
That's crazy.
2-time or whatever he calls himself. That's wild. And then of course, like I guarantee in the next couple of days we're gonna start seeing like pseudo Dr. Disrespect guys coming up out of nowhere to try to pull up that reign. You know what I mean? Like just dressing up as him or doing some kind of meme streams about him now and just trying to run with his kind of thing until they pick up his slack.
Yeah.
You know, again, what I feel bad for is like the younger generation of kids that were looking up to this guy now. You know what I mean? The ones that would like, you know, dress like him and watch him every day. And since his audience is, of course, fucking children themselves, most of them, like you just feel bad for the kids, man, because that's the role models they have now. No,
fuck that, bro. Like they shouldn't be idolizing people like that. So it's like they got off lucky. You know, do you know when we were growing up as kids, our fucking idols, how fucking weird they were, and we weren't safe. We just had to watch them our entire fucking lives, at least.
Oh yeah.
You know, in today's day and age, you have the internet where you can find out if someone's doing some fucking freak ass shit.
And you just call them out, and then the whole internet,
and that's it. Down. Yeah, and then they're out of here.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, it's a lot easier nowadays for these kids to be a little bit in better situations. So straight up, yeah, that's cool. Onwards into the next part of the real conversation that we're about to have, which is going to be right into our nerd stuff, boys and girls. This past week, we had some interesting information drop, and we got to see some cool photos of the new Superman for James Gunn's DC Universe. Brian, how do we feel about this? That was a long action.
No, because it's been a while since I've seen it. And I'm looking at it now, so I'm trying to kind of revisit those initial feelings that I had. I'm not a fan of the Superman suit. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, no. I mean, like shit. if you put a lineup of all of the Superman suits that exist, it's probably going to be at the bottom.
Is it because of how basic it looks, or what?
I don't know. It's I don't know what it is. The cape though. I don't know if you saw a picture of when they showed the cape.
It has a S on the middle, right?
The cape looks fucking dope. I'll give them that. They got the cape. They nailed that. But the suit and just how loose fitting it is, I'm not a big fan of it. What is his name? Mr. Terrific or Dr. Terrific, whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, he looks fucking dope. Like that was as if you just took him out of a comic, right out of a comic, and just copy and pasted them into a movie. So that was cool. I guess if I were going to make just one statement about the photo, Nico said it sucks. Cosplay looks low budget. Damn. If I were gonna give just one statement about the photo set. I don't want to call it a leak because I'm pretty sure they leaked it themselves. I would say Terrific looks good. Superman, it's still out. If you're gonna ask me, is my hype heightened a little bit because of this? Maybe a little bit, but you don't want that from your Superman movie. You're gonna want people to give like an emphatic yes. Like I'm like this. These photos make me want to see this movie more, and I don't think I can say that right now. What about yourself?
In this photo that's here, you could see that there's like muscles on the suit themselves, right? So do you think yeah, you can see there's abs.
So how is it you can see his abs, but it's loose in other places?
Look at this part.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
The only reason that I would consider that it looks like that is because of the fact that see, like there's like this is supposed to be like a muscle. Like the part that sticks underneath the chest muscle that you can see. But yeah, like you look at this one and it's like folded right here under the chest line.
This looks like a CW fucking show.
It really does. It really does. And then here,
like
this one,
looks like you would catch this prime time on Channel 11.
Yeah, this guy, he looks cool. That's Mr. Terrific. But like, again, he looks like the member of like the Arrow show or something. It just doesn't look like a film.
Yeah.
But like you said, like there's a lot of looseness to this. But like right here, this guy could be part of wardrobe, opening it up.
So look at the arms, right? Put your little mouse over the other arm. Look at the other arm.
Oh yeah, here, right here.
Look how loose that looks. How is it that loose, but you can still see The abs have that definition. The abs have definition, but the arms are loose. How did make that make sense to me, Chris?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna try to defend this film.
Like that shit looks crazy.
I'm the worst guy to ask to defend this stuff, dude.
How does nobody see this?
Look at the fold, man. That's so weird. So look, you can see the lines of the abs a little bit, right? You see the line?
Yeah.
So you can see where the fold is, but like I wonder if right now at this moment, which you can't defend it. Look, here's fucking Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
In his suit, skin tight, and it has a bodysuit under it. Remember, they put a metallic muscle suit to make it shine on the edges.
Yeah.
So there's like a reflective kind of effect that it gives the costume underneath. Like again, but this isn't too far-fetched from this fucking costume. You know what I mean? So
at
like,
least
dude,
the first
good,
look
man.
is
Look at this shit.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh man, that's really rough here too.
I don't understand how anybody doesn't catch that.
Dude, this guy always wore a suit, and it always reminds me of like a Harley Davidson jacket.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, bro. Like this reminds me of someone wearing like a
Halloween outfit,
like a surfing suit, like a wetsuit.
It looks like a Halloween costume, bro, and it just wasn't the right fit, or the Halloween costume just wasn't.
Bro, and that's because this is the CW one, dude.
And that looks better. That's what I'm saying. If you compare and put like all of the suits in a lineup, this suit is probably going to be last for me.
Yeah, this isn't very good. You know what? Like it does kind of like.
Well, wait, hold on. Find the picture of the shot from the back, and it shows the cape. Pause.
Oh, it was just the last one right there.
That one, yeah. That cape looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, okay. So when I see this picture of this character, it does give me, even with this kind of suit, it gives me like the old school 60s Superman vibes. Like because of like how like not over sexualized with a skin tight suit it is. Kind of like it reminds me very much of I'll say 60s Superman. Let's see if this pops up. Well, maybe 50s? Shit, damn. Go that far? No, just put black and white. I wonder if it's still showing. This guy. Look, it reminds me of his costume. Like the way that it used to be, where it wasn't really about like showing Oh, there it is. Perfect. Kind of like this vibe. Like that's what it reminds. Like you can tell me it doesn't remind you of that when you see that kind of like fabric or costume.
No, it doesn't remind me of this. Like this looks better. This looks like it fits better.
Well, yeah, I mean, because he's just wearing fucking, what are they called? Long johns. He's just wearing long johns. But doesn't that, like the way it is material wise, it's not super big, bulky. Like you look at all the Supermen that have like all the intensity to it. This vibe, doesn't that kind of go off of like, let's go back. That vibe. Like, well, I'm going to go to this one because this one's more like it.
No.
You don't feel that?
No.
I do. Well, that's just me. I kind of feel it like that way too. Like even it has a belt, dude, on the underwear. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
why?
Well, you're gonna have to James Gunn. You're gonna have to ask James Gunn for that because
yo, is James Gunn gonna fuck this up, bro? Let's just cut the bullshit. Is he gonna fuck this up or not? Do you think that he's gonna fuck this up? We've gotten some looks, we've gotten some shots, we've seen a little bit. He's been very active on Twitter. Is he gonna fuck this up in your opinion?
Look, where I kind of come into this is like my idea of this is like James Gunn. What he does, it's charming, right? He comes in and gives you these characters. He kind of makes them look cartoony. You know, he very much can exuberate the Justice League cartoon look. But does that apply to film? Because of the fact that, like you said, like the CW shows, they pretty much exuberate the Justice League cartoons. They're not too serious and they're not too crazy. They kind of run the middle where they're like a sitcom. Like that's the Justice League cartoon. But that would not apply to a film because you need story, you need something with depth, unless it's going to be just a kid's movie. And this guy's not a fucking kid's movie maker.
I just want to take this time out, right? just a quick second to point out that this is now officially an historic day. This is the first time me and Nico have ever agreed on anything.
True that.
And it needs to be noted, right? His last comment, or the second to last comment. Thank you, Brian. 100% facts. Thanks, Vince, for joining in. He says that James Gunn's Superman suit is mid. I will have to agree with you, sir.
Yep.
I think that is the consensus here on this show. And honestly, I think in the world. But because listen, this hasn't really made waves, right? This came out a few days ago, but I don't even know if it trended. If it did trend, it didn't trend for very long. And when you're making a Superman movie, you kind of want things to trend.
I'm gonna share this right now.
You kind of want things to trend to get things. Yeah, Nico, listen, this is history, bro. I'm not saying that I want it to be the first and last. I'm just making note that, for one time in in the history of me knowing you, we were able to come to an agreement on something, and I'm glad it was to shit on James Gunn.
And I think like look at this picture. Like, why is it that this costume looks like this, but this shot looks like this? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any. You look at this picture, that looks badass.
I think that's what they envisioned that it would look like.
It's a fucking photoshopped.
Like, in their head, this is what they wanted.
Yeah. And this is fucking what they got. This is let me see. Hold on, I gotta go back. Hold on. This is when you're at the store and you tell your mom you want a Superman toy, and this is when your mom says you got Superman at home.
At home, yeah.
Yeah, that's Superman at home. Yeah, because if you look at these two pictures, like, it's the same actor. Yeah. I mean, can you can you imagine? Look at the fucking thing. Is like, it was to fool the internet that it's a fake photo or whatever. Like, they just put it out to fake the internet out and shit. And then they put the real one out, and everyone's like, "Boo! Bring back the fake one."
Yeah, you should have just took the fake one and said that it was real.
Nah, that's crazy, dude. Crazy. So, like, okay, back to just like like the shit talk, right? Like, so you don't think at all that James Gunn brings any heat?
Not for me. I see a world where people do think that and are expecting him to. He's got to show me, pause. He's got to prove to me that, he's going to do this right, because everything that he's done so far, the Twitter antics and the back and forths with regular people and straight up lying to the original cast of the Justice League, every last one of them. It's this guy. He's a weirdo. So I don't know. He's gonna have to prove it to me.
Yeah,
and I hope I'm wrong. Listen, I honestly, God's honest truth, I hope that I'm wrong. But you can't blame me for being skeptical. I'm sorry,
bro. Can you imagine? Like, just look at this shot, and it does better than the other one.
Yo, so Vince said the CW Superman suit was better than this suit, and I'm telling you, I think every suit is pretty sharp, right? Every suit is better than this suit.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, you got a strong point, and it's kind of like what we said before. Like, we're not at all so hoping that they fuck it up, because we've kind of like been championing the idea, like, well, I want the DC to do something, man. It's sad as fuck to see that the Marvel universe has been able to do 10 solid years and then another fucking 6 years of them just fucking everything up as bad as they can. And they still got traction enough to keep going. And DC hit like this huge fucking like bump in the road where they were like, "Now we're just going to quit and just stick to animated movies and shitty games or whatever."
Do you know why you can't just duplicate someone like Kevin Feige? Because Kevin Feige he understands his job.
Yeah.
His job is to not only executive produce some movies that, people will love and will make money and all this, but he gets people excited, bro. Like, he gets people excited to watch his movies. Like, has James Gunn ever done anything since he's been in charge of DC to excite you about anything?
No, not really. I mean, if there's anything that I think he doesn't quite understand is he's not really in the position to be like, well, let me troll the internet a little bit. I don't think he understands that because DC's already kind of dropped the ball so much that the internet's already lost interest in the whole fucking DC universe. So for him to go out there and be like, let me play some pranks on these people to get them thinking, they're just going to be like, bro, fuck off, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck about your DC universe. I'm not going to buy tickets. I'm not going to care when it comes out. Like, I've seen the set photos, you know, all you do is talk shit and don't give us anything. Like, I think we talked about this like 2 weeks ago, or we sent a message to each other that James Gunn said they probably weren't going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, you know, showing off anything for DC. And I think that's the dumbest fucking move he could do in life.
No, that's
like 100%. No, it's stupid, dude.
It's the smartest. If he doesn't have, what if he doesn't have anything? What if he doesn't have anything to show?
The internet has more than him.
No,
the internet's got leaked set photos.
What if he doesn't have anything to show? Do you really want James Gunn rushing to put shit together? Just let me finish. Okay. Do you want James Gunn rushing to put shit together just to say that he was able to go to San Diego Comic-Con? It's gonna look like shit, and then it's gonna make everyone revolted against it. If you don't have anything, bro, just don't do it. Don't do it. If you do
realize James Gunn is the guy that made the fucking music, the fucking Christmas song in the middle of making the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy short, which is already a short. And he was just told the cast, like, hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, let's make a little music video just to fuck around.
But that was something
that's still something. No, it's something in set, on set.
That
all
is
these motherfuckers, man.
No, that's something that he already had. That doesn't make any sense. That's something where he had the cast, he had the scenes, or he had the place to shoot. It was just them taking a day or two to cut this. That has nothing to do with him throwing some shit together that may not even fucking be there just to fucking wave his dick around at Comic-Con. And then if it doesn't come to fruition, then what? Then he looks like an asshole.
I think it's a huge fuck up. I think right now they've already taken so much time since the coronavirus to have anything at the
What is he going to show?
Bro, he can literally get these guys right now together, those guys on set with the fans pointing at him, having a good time, and just have them do a fucking TikTok. You can have them do anything and be like, can't wait, guys. See you soon.
That's going to fill up. That's going to fill up your whole panel. That's going to, like,
that's more than not being there for 4 years. That's more than not being there for 4 years. They've been there for how many years has DC not been in San Diego?
This is when you go to Comic-Con, you have to have a whole fucking presentation. You can't just go there with some fucking schmucks from a movie that no one really cares, like no one cares about, and say, "Hey, go watch my movie." You're gonna get the fuck out of here. You have to have like a whole fucking thing. Like you want to come with this, the Batman movie, the whatever other fucking movies you got, whatever shows you got. He's working on this and this. This is all that he has to show. And you want him to throw this together and then just shove it in our face at Comic-Con when fucking we're about to get into it. Marvel is going back to Hall H?
Yes, sir. Marvel is
returning
to Hall H San Diego Comic-Con.
James is gonna be standing there with his dick in his hand while fucking Kevin Feige is over there doing twirls and fucking juggling with his dick over there. Like, no. If you can't compete with that at this point, bro, just don't do it.
DC hasn't been able to compete at that level for years already. So if they go up and they fucking, let's say they go up and throw a fucking curveball and it misses, they at least did something and got people talking about it. It's better than
no. That's gonna. Chris, how does that work business wise? If your whole point is to make money off of this movie and you go and bomb at fucking Comic-Con, guess what's gonna happen? No one's gonna go see your fucking movie.
It's Superman. They're gonna see it either way, dude.
That's not true.
They're gonna see it either way.
Statistically, Superman does not do as good as you think when it comes to movies and anything. When it comes to comics, when it comes to movies, when it comes to video games. I actually just saw a video about this, and it blew my fucking mind. Superman is not as strong as you think when it comes to selling.
Yes, Captain America does better.
Batman does better.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's the thing is a lot of people. You look at it's kind of like you and Nico talk about the whole Goku and Vegeta thing, right? The thing about it is nobody likes Superman because he's just a classic character. He doesn't really have any other changes. He's a dude that works on a farm. He goes and saves fucking cats and trees and then goes home. Batman's out there fucking getting, his whole family murdered by a clown and just says, I don't kill people, and then kills a bunch of other motherfuckers in the background. It just doesn't kill his original dudes. He's complicated. Superman's not complicated. He just goes, punch things, and wins. That's why. He's always been the main character, and no one likes him for it because he's fucking perfect. You know what made Captain America interesting? He became a fucking Nazi. Like, no one gave him, when he was just Captain America with a shield, don't give a fuck about him. You change his fucking costume and call him Nomad and put a big ass V-neck on him and show his like chest off. People are like, holy shit, look at this fucking dude.
Bill, the Captain America comic book sales are down over the last 10 years. What are we going to do about this? Well, let's make him a Nazi.
Fucking make him a Nazi. Whoa.
Make him a Nazi. There you go.
Damn. And then they do, and you know what? They fucking do it. The news goes crazy. People that don't read comic books are fucking flipping out. CNN, Fox, MSNBC, everyone's like, Jesus Christ, look at Captain America. He made a fucking flip. Everybody buys the first fucking comic. No one buys the second because that's not where the money is.
Guy comes out as a fucking Nazi sympathizer.
It's a template, bro. It's a template. But that's the thing. Like everyone's gonna watch it either way. Like everyone's gonna go out and watch it because if they don't watch it, they either don't want to watch it because it sucks, or they watch it because they like Superman, or they watch it because they want to make content and have the internet react to them. No one's gonna watch it because they care about the franchise or the character.
First off, there's a lot of things, and I don't want to keep interjecting, but just a lot of things that you're saying, you're just not taking into account. You're not taking into account that the box offices are all down across the board, no matter how you fucking split it.
Well, that's Hollywood.
People are not going to the movies like they used to.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have to take that into account. You have to be careful. This is the first movie in his whole fucking franchise, bro. You got to be careful with this. You don't want to give him too much. You don't want to have your pants. You don't want to be exposed. You don't want your pants down around your ankles. You don't want to force something if he doesn't want to be forced, dude.
No,
just,
but okay,
just chill out.
I 100%. I agree with you. I agree with you with the fact that this guy cannot go out and make mistakes.
He can't fuck this up, Chris.
Yeah, he can.
He cannot fuck this up.
Dude, look, Brian, I 100% agree with you because I love Superman. Like, he's one of I tell that people all the time, he's one of my favorite fucking superhero characters. And people will come out and be like, fuck Superman. You know what I mean? And I still stick on that because I believe in the Silver Age comic book characters.
You know how many arguments? I've had so many arguments that I've had to fucking argue about why Superman would kick Goku's ass. And I am a Goku fucking fan.
Yeah, you're a Goku fan. And so I've heard you say before because, I hear you talk about it like tremendously a lot. But like, that's the thing. Like, I understand this concept, and that's like, a fan thing. But like, I like Superman because I believe in his character as a comic book character. I think that template is just the best original concept of a superhero. He's the only character literally in the comic books right now still that you can slightly look at and be proud of, to be a hero. And it's so hard to maintain that throughout the entire years until up until the time that we're at right now, where everything is just torn apart. Like, everything is torn apart in the fact of like, is it relatable? Is it this and that? Does it represent me? Does it represent them? Like, his character is one of the ones that people generally try to destroy on a weekly basis because they're like, well, fuck him. He's too perfect. I don't like him. And it's like, it's not supposed to be that way. We get a person like this because we look at him. He's like a sports hero or something. We just inspire to be like him, right? That's why he's got that like Messiah kind of thing that Snyder kind of put apart in the films also, right? And you're 100% correct. Like, Superman as a model character in comic book history, as probably the most well-known character in ever history, he can't mess this up. But the more he stays away from the public eye and keeping things a secret and making things to where he's not being more like verbal and letting us know like how things are going or what's happening or whatnot, leaving us in the dark until something like this pops out, then shit goes crazy and people are like, fuck this movie. The costume.
Well, who are we? First off, before because
The money.
I'm
We're
about
the
no,
money.
I'm about to get on you for a second.
We're the money. We're the people that are going to spend our money to go watch this.
Nico, I know what you're saying. I know that what I said was going to just be a dog whistle for you. I understand that. Listen, it's not my favorite take. It's not my best take, but that's just how I feel. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are we, bro? Like that's some new shit. That is shit that's been happening over the last 10 years. We have been doing just fine with the 100 of years of cinema where we did not know shit. We worked just fine. There have been billion-dollar movies before leaks, before fucking things were spoiled, before we knew too much. It'll be fine. They don't owe us. They don't owe us. They don't owe us anything. They don't owe us shit. He doesn't owe us shit. If it's not ready, bro, I'd rather you not show me some shit that's gonna make me regret or make me not want to see this, as opposed to at least keeping my imagination open to what this looks like. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, I get you. Like I get where you're sitting at. Like that's not an issue. I just feel that with the demographic on how DC has been running itself for like the last 10 years, I think them being like, I'm not going to let you see anything until the last week before we release the movie just makes me feel like these guys don't got it, man.
I think that's smart if they don't have it. It's only smart if they don't have it, which I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that the reason why they're not going to be at Comic-Con is because they don't have anything. They don't have it. Listen, we're done with James Gunn. We're on to Marvel, right? So so we're on to Marvel, right? Do you want to take the lead on this or what?
Well, no, I wanted to hear. I didn't really get into it or read into it or anything, but I'm just excited for something to be coming to Hall H now, just to hear that Marvel has something coming up or anybody really, because again, like San Diego Comic-Con, you and I talked about this literally last year when it popped off. Is like this shit's dead. Like there's literally, if you don't have any of these big companies coming in and giving something, like why the fuck hold a convention? You know what I mean? Because then it started to turn into where like Marvel was having the Disney convention and they were only showing their specific thing. And, you know, they were having different like expos dedicated to the studios themselves, and they were doing their own events. So why do they need San Diego Comic-Con? So to hear when you hit it up today and you were like, yo, San Diego Comic-Con is going to be coming back and Marvel's coming, I was like, what, dude? Like, are you serious? That's fucking awesome. Of course, then my mind flickered back to Tom Hiddleston, you know, doing Loki, them releasing the cast of the Avengers, the guy that played the Higher Evolutionary showing up to in character to kind of talk and do stuff. And I was just like, wow, I miss this. Like, I miss these interactions with these studios and the fans in such a very intricate way that it just gets just in your skin excited to see this stuff again. Like all of this, like only over the internet or on Twitch or by leaks, like it's cool, but like it doesn't literally do anything anymore. Like having these people show up like in character or on set or giving you something, because of course, like I'm a big con person. We go to conventions all the time. So having that opportunity for these actors to go up on stage and give you something is so exciting. It's so exciting, dude. So what have we heard for this situation for San Diego Comic-Con this year with this? Let me go ahead and pull out some stuff. Marvel.
Yeah, so Kevin Feige, let it be known. I believe it was Kevin Feige, or it could have just been Marvel Studios itself, just put out a statement just saying that they're gonna be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. They're gonna go back to Hall H, which is gonna be basically the whole day is usually dedicated to Marvel, right? So they're gonna come out, do all their spiel. Kevin Feige should come out. People are anticipating, you know, the cast of Fantastic Four to show up. Maybe a clip or two from new movies, another clip from, you know, I think Deadpool and Wolverine might be already out by that time. But, you know, you'll maybe get a clip for the Thunderbolts or Captain America. You know, they're gonna have the whole spiel, and then they may, you know, introduce some new projects that are coming up. So it's gonna be back to the usual, you know,
back
with
to
them
business.
being back in business at Hall H. Which I'm happy to see. You know, it was sad knowing that last year nobody was going because of the strike or whatever, or just because they didn't have anything. And you know, it's good to see things are you know back to normal as you know Comic-Cons are concerned. So it's cool. It's cool
It's refreshing and nice, man. I got an article here from Deadline that says in one of the paragraphs, Marvel Studios plans for San Diego Comic-Con to go down to the wire with never before seen clips polished up with music and VFX. For starters, given the first weekend of Deadpool and Wolverine, it wouldn't be a surprise if Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were to put on a small special appearance. That would be epic, dude, if they showed up in costume and put like a whole skit together kind of thing. You know what I mean? Even if they weren't in costume, that would be still great. I mean, it's fantastic.
I think even without, I think just the more exposure they get, the better off this movie will be. I mean, I don't know if you've been keeping track, but like the trackings for Deadpool,
it's going to be astronomical, right?
And I told you, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good starting point. They got to keep it up. But if you don't have your tickets by now, bro, you might as well just call it a day, because you're not gonna be able
to say you're not a fan already.
not even that, yo. But like, you're not gonna get a premium screen, and even then, you still might not be able to get one. And then not only that, but you dodging the internet from spoilers, you might as well
it's gonna be impossible, dude.
Yeah, you might as well just give it up.
Everyone's gonna be spoiled. I mean, look at it right now. I mean, we saw this past week that there was another cameo that was like put up there just real quick, that they had Sabretooth like just coming in fighting Wolverine in like one of the funniest like trailer scenes. And then we have another rumor that Blade is a supporting character. Wesley Snipes, Blade is a supporting character. So even crazier. So like, I mean, this thing's looking to be like one of the craziest Marvel movies like ever put together, in my opinion. It's literally going to be like the Infinity War of the Fox universe, I'm guessing. So like, where we had, how many actors did we have? Like 60 something in Infinity War at the end when they were like Avengers Assemble. We're going to have that, but with Deadpool, but with the Fox universe. He's going to say like Fox Assemble or something. Man, it's going to be wild as hell. It really is. So like with that and the idea of all the other things, who and what would be exciting for you if you were to see come to Hall H this year?
I told you. I mean, I'm going to be simple, because I think that the next coming movies are going to be very vital. I think they're going to be very important. So I think anything from those movies, if you give me like a trailer for Captain America, you could bring up James Mackie, whatever the fuck his name is. If you bring him up, you bring up
Anthony Mackie.
If you bring up him, or if you bring up, anybody from the Thunderbolts, that will work for me too. So, just anything along those lines, and I'll be happy. Listen, I don't watch this shit live, so I'm gonna have to catch the clips.
Yeah.
So whatever cool clips come out, I'll be happy with.
I think for me, a highlight for me would be if they introduced the Fantastic Four like all together on stage.
Yeah.
And then we got like the actor who's gonna play Doom. Like if they were like special appearance, we understand that we have the first family of the Marvel universe, but you can't have the Fantastic Four without your villain. So here is our Doctor Doom. And we don't have any idea until then. And we get like the biggest fucking drop on who it is as an actor and whatnot. And then say like, this is our Doctor Doom. And he comes up and does like the hands, and it's gonna, oh man, that would be like, I get goosebumps just thinking about that being an opportunity. Because again, like I think we've said this 1.5 million times that Doctor Doom right now is super vital in them for the next upcoming big film, and they need him so bad. So for them to introduce him, I think that would be epic. And I guess anything on what else is coming out? I guess like we heard this past week just on rumor that, I don't know if you heard, the Young Avengers was cut. Like the Young Avengers film had apparently been canceled, but it hasn't been canceled, or it has been canceled. Like it's just up in the air. Yeah. So
I heard that it's still on. There was a report that it was cut, but they're going to continue with it.
I hope it's not cut, because they need films to fill up this whole entire roster. Even though I think we've talked about it, the Young Avengers isn't really like a big film to look forward to, but they do need to establish these new characters that are coming up and needing to take over for the previous Avengers. So they need to build up that team already so they can be successful for the next set of films. So that would be pretty good. But onwards to the next part. So exciting news. Marvel's coming back to Hall H. No word on DC yet, but I think Brian and I said, you know, it's okay if they don't come. We'd rather have them come with something prepared, and Marvel can fucking razzle dazzle the whole crowd up and stuff like that. Onwards to now recaps for the week on shows. Brian, the Boys recap. So we got the Boys episode. I think we're in episode 4 and 5. Are you caught up all the way on the Boys?
Yeah.
How are you digging the show? I don't think I got to talk to you about the show yet overall. I think maybe just a little bit, but how are you liking it so far this season?
I honestly, I love it. I know a lot of people are not that enthused about the season. I think, you know what? I'll take that back. I don't love it. I like it. I like it a lot. There's certain aspects of it that I like, but there's just certain there's other aspects of the show that I just could not care less about. Like I just couldn't care less about. Like the whole Frenchie thing with Mio, what was her name? Miko.
Oh, Kimiko.
Yeah. Like with her whole shit, like I just don't care. Like there's nothing there that's drawing me into it. Obviously the Butcher and Homelander shit is what's interesting me, and it's keeping me going. So I'm kind of interested to see how that works out. I'm also interested to see A-Train. A-Train is another bright spot for me. Like I'm kind of interested to see like I'm interested to follow his arc, like his redeeming arc that he's going through right now, and just how close he's gonna push it. I'm even more interested in Ashley and the shit that she's going through. As of right now, like the way that she, spoiler alert, but the way that she set up the news guy, just because he didn't want to be her boy toy anymore. Like that's interesting. So, but yeah, what about you? Thoughts? What are your thoughts about the show so far?
Well, we got a special guest. Let me drop him in. Nico,
welcome
back.
There he is.
There he is, man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour. Nico, what is up, my dude?
Dude, oh my God. Yo, I'm sorry for being this fucking late. God damn.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Better late than never,
Yeah, baby. Better late than never. We got 2 more topics that we're talking about, so we still got like a good 30, 40 minutes, and we're good, cool. Man.
All right, well, what the fuck? What are we on right now?
So right now we are talking about the Boys recap, talking about the season and the episodes we've caught up on. Nico's got that face.
I don't know jack shit about this.
I was gonna say he has his face on him when he heard that.
The one time I jump in, God damn it! All right, go for it.
I mean, if you have anything to say, I know you were in the comment section earlier and you were talking about the Superman stuff. Is there anything you'd like to add before we jump into this?
Honestly, it's like I said, the suit does look like the original OG suit, but it's like I said on the comments, like it does fit like. The original suit fits its time frame, it fit the time that it was originally made for. But now that shit looks so fucking outdated. You would expect him to update the shit. I'm not expecting it to be fucking glossy and bedazzled and shit, but update it. Fuck, dude, you don't have to do the whole red underwear bullshit. Like, just put your own flair into it. But whatever.
It's a good call. It's a good call. I mean, it's pretty much what we're kind of like chatting about. Like we were kind of saying, like there's just something about the costume that's not like really sitting in spot.
Oh, real quick, Brian.
I know. I knew it was coming.
Brian.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Brian, right here, Brian.
Let's do it. No, let's do it. I was waiting on you. I'm waiting
right here, Brian.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Good. I'm looking.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. You agreed with me one time.
That was short-lived. That was short-lived, man. That was short-lived.
Man, yo, why you gotta be so negative? Shit, I just barely jumped on. Shit.
I'm just saying. I know that we had a moment. It was great. It was beautiful. It was something that I will cherish for forever. To be honest with you,
I know.
Then I had to open my mouth and say something that I just knew was blasphemous to any Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball fan. I know how crazy I sound. I know listen, it's not my brightest moment here. Okay. I understand it, but that's just how I feel, bro. I'm sorry. I do think that when it came down to it, unless you take out the sun, I think Superman is gonna be Goku. I'm sorry.
Man, fuck Superman's kid.
If Superman bathes in the sun,
how the fuck Superman kid got asthma, bro?
Listen, if Superman bathes in the sun, Goku is gonna have a long day. That's all I'm gonna say. He's gonna have a really long day.
Okay, so let me ask this because going on this conversation, even though it's not really particular to what we're talking about, but like Darkseid, then you think Darkseid caps Goku?
No,
but he's at least matched to stronger than Superman in most times.
most times. But
Yeah.
I'm putting parameters around this. I'm putting stipulations on this. I said if Superman takes a bath in the sun, dark side doesn't stand a chance, right? So I think that if you give him that, I think Goku is gonna have he's gonna have a long day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you got a point. I think it's point.
I'm just
What about
gonna
you,
pretend
Nico?
I didn't
Nico,
hear
what
none
about
of
you?
that.
Nico's got
Nico is
Nico's got weight on his
on.
shoulders, man. It looks like
Yeah,
Nico's
bro.
got weight on his shoulders. Nico, what do you got to say about that?
I still love you, Brian, but I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear none of that shit right now.
Totally disagree. He totally
Yeah.
vehemently disagrees
Nico,
with me.
give me one solid bullet point as to why you think Goku caps Superman. One
look,
solid,
honestly,
solid.
look, I'm not saying that he would whoop Superman. I'm just saying that'd be one hell of a fucking fight. I would love to see that, a fucking crossover, but dude, realistically, I am agreeing with Brian in a sense, but the thing is, it's just like as a huge anime fan that I am, fuck DC, I love me some anime. Yeah. Okay, so that I stick with my guy, even though he's gonna get his ass whooped. I still go Goku.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I kind of feel like Superman punches a hole through Goku's chest first chance he gets.
Listen, you taking
it easy. Not to be rude, yeah. Not to be rude.
You took it easy on me. Trust me, I have been in whole group chats getting jumped. I have gotten jumped.
I can see that shit.
I have gotten jumped. Like these guys are taking turns putting hands on me in my chat because of my thoughts on this.
Someone's like, nah, but Goku can instant transmission and do this shit. It's like,
this is inside of a fucking Dragon Ball chat that I'm in.
Chat room, yeah.
I have a chat just strictly about
people threatening your life and everything, dude.
And the amount of shit that I get, so trust me, I'm ready for it.
So in the comment section, we have Limon. What's up, Limon? Says, I love the show. He's talking about the boys. I don't know what maturity hit, what the fuck, tree 5 miles an hour. I don't know what that means. But he also says Starlight has ruined my life for me. Yeah.
What do you mean at 5,000 miles an hour? What does he mean by that?
5K 1,000 an hour. But what's Moriarty? What's that? Moriarty?
I've never seen the show, so I'm lost.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what morality is. He's gonna have to I think he might have spelled it wrong. Maybe morality or something. Morality hit the what the fuck tree at like 5,000. Yeah, probably that's probably what he says. Morality, but yeah, the new season of The Boys, it's going pretty sharp. I like it. It's pretty good. There is like a little bit more political jargon, which is pretty normal in shows nowadays when it comes to this. A lot of like political satire, which isn't too crazy. I mean, it just adds to it. But I guess the idea is like the demographic of the show has changed so drastically from the comic book that it's kind of weird to see where it's going. Pretty much the same thing that Brian was talking about earlier for the show is kind of like the same things with me. Like, Frenchie and Kimiko kind of acting like they don't want to talk to each other. Didn't really make any sense when they were so close in the last season at the end. Like, why choose out of nowhere just to not bring each other's problems? Kimiko wanting to go after the light or whatever that group that she had just out of nowhere didn't make any sense as to why she doesn't want to talk. It doesn't make sense. Like, there's a lot of things in the character that doesn't really it doesn't translate if you're talking about nothing but just trauma. The comic book just makes it to where it's just that, and it doesn't really need to explain itself. The Frenchie thing, like, I don't know where all of a sudden he got this like idea that morality and the good and the bad and turning himself in and all this other stuff. Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Huey's story of him kind of like removing himself completely from the story and going and doing his own thing with his dad, like, I thought that was a little much. Did you think that was a little bit much in this last episode, Brian? Like the dad thing?
No, I thought it was.
You thought it was okay?
I thought it was spot on. It was one of the bright spots of the episode. I think that there's some theories as to what's going on here, and if they're true, I think that, regardless, that scene was fucking phenomenal. Yeah, it was good. I like it.
It was very touching, man. By the end of the show, I was kind of like, I was taken by it. Like, it kind of caught me emotionally with the whole dad situation and all that stuff. Like, but I was like, oh man, here we go. A lot of over the top killing and murders for no reason, and it kind of like being where the dad doesn't really have to like to deal with the situation, right?
Yeah.
But are we talking about private chat? It's got a whole other conversation. That's wild.
Hell yeah, shit.
Yeah, that shit's got my whole brain twisted. But Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I kind of thought it was like a little over the top with the way like the deaths and the killings, and then trying to make him like kind of go a little bit dark and a little bit. But yeah, it does add more depth to the situation of the story. And then, but the consequence at the end, where it all came to a fruition at the end, I kind of feel like it was really over the top for what they were trying to go for, because there's no consequence with the action that's going to happen. And it's like they're just like, well, I mean, can we talk spoilers or no?
It's your show.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Nico, are you good with spoilers? You haven't seen it. I don't know if anybody else.
Dude, I don't give a fuck. You can say whatever the hell you want.
I would like to talk spoilers. So if you're out there watching us, I appreciate you guys. The couple of people that are watching, we're just gonna jump into a little bit of spoiler talk. It's on, again, if you haven't seen the show, it's on Amazon Prime. The show's been out for a couple of days. I actually saw it last night, barely out of nowhere. So
just real quick, on Amazon, is it like the entire season, or you got to wait weekly?
No, this one's weekly. This one's weekly. But the first season's up. Whole fucking first season's up. So by the time you catch
up right now on the most recent, what episode are you guys on?
Episode 5 of season 2.
Oh,
going into episode 6. So
I'm not gonna lie to you. Those episodes are like an hour long, bro. You gotta do some homework. Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't something that I think like this show is something that I can wait a week for. You know what I mean? Like I can be like, okay, cool. Like if it's the Star Wars shit, like, no, I'm not gonna wait a week for that shit. Like could have put all that whole season out and that would have been all right. But this one's going a lot better than what Star Wars has been putting out in a couple of years. So The Boys has always been pretty fantastic. This episode, like I said, like with the dad doing all of that stuff where he's kind of like going around and accidentally killing, like he fucking murders like a bunch of people. I think, what was it, 3 people overall? One of them was 2 of them were by accident, one of them was on purpose, and then he goes after the mother. But like, there's no consequence at the end. Huey just is like, oh, I gotta old yeller this fucking dude or whatever, and it's like, he murdered some motherfuckers like in the wildest possible ways by accident. Like there has to be some consequence to this. No, but I mean, it's The Boys, right?
I was just about to say that, bro. I'm so glad you caught yourself, because I was about to get on you, bro. It's The Boys, bro. Like, yeah, you saw Homelander blow someone's fucking head off in front of a crowd, like in front of a fucking crowd on TV. And he's good. So come on.
But that of course, like that goes of course with the satire that they're kind of like playing off of this year and stuff like that. Like the dichotomy of the country being split by these soups and not. But it's almost like I would say like about the Ezekiel story, right? Like someone literally kills Ezekiel, the pastor guy, in the last episode, and everyone's just casually talking about it while they think it's Starlight, but she's just chilling out at work, or she's not even in jail or anything like that, or you know what I mean? Like it's really weird the way that things work in this universe. It's just very awkward that the consequence of things is just so like demeanored. But I was super happy to see the return of like Giancarlo. I thought he did an extremely well job as the main character, and all of them together. I think the ranch was like a fucking wild adventure, bro. That was like, I don't even fuck. What was that one movie with the Disney, the Haunted Mansion? That was kind of like The Farm. Like it just had like ghosts flying around and fucking people. It was just wild Ghostbuster shit. Like it was the wildest shit. But it was
it was needed. It was needed. It was needed.
It was fun. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird fun.
Not only that, but it gave me more. What's his name? Giancarlo. Giancarlo. Yeah, right. So it gave me more of him, which was a great fucking surprise, by the way, bro. Like once I saw that he was back in this episode, I was like, thank you, God, bro.
You know what? I really give it up to the writers on how they write him and the girl, like him and Victoria or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they wrote them extremely well, dude. Like the way that he was like that they came in, and of course he has this little banter with the group because they're like below him. You know what I mean? They're like all broke ass people. So he's like, ugh, you know what I mean? And then the daughter shows up and she's kind of like, you know, there's some turmoil. There's a little bit of like bitterness towards each other, but it's not in some kind of like stupid writing. It's really fun writing.
It's good. No, it's good. Do you think that because of that episode, did it not make you feel like that's what this show was missing? With some more Giancarlo Esposito, like
because
that's what this show is missing, bro.
All we've been getting is a fucking which is nothing wrong, but Anthony Starr is Homelander just going off and being like, why don't people like me? And then he goes and kills a bunch of motherfuckers in front of each other, and everybody's just scared of him, which I'm kind of tired of right now. Like if there's anything, what was refreshing was the new way that they're kind of having his character right now, like where he comes in and he's talking to his son and he's like, you know what, like I've been ridiculed and slaved my life. You've been slaved all your life. I'm not gonna do that no more. Like, you just do whatever you want. And I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. You know what I mean? It's kind of fun. It's not as like, it's not whiny baby bullshit where he's like, I want people to just accept me because I'm awesome. Why don't people like me? And if they don't like me, I kill them. Like, this is a whole new interesting dynamic for the character to go into like mid-season. So like, I don't know if he felt that way when he's talking to his kid and he's just like, hey man, like, what do you want to happen? Like, what do you feel about this? When he's talking to the director guy about the film, and the kid's like, well, I don't want to tell you because you're going to get mad at me. He's like, oh, fuck that, dude. Like, you do whatever you want. Like, you do whatever you want. Of course, it still has its weird, like, how did you feel about the fucking, the outcome of the way the kid was acting?
I think, fuck the kid, because that's not what any of those scenes were about. They were about Homelander and him slowly having a meltdown, right? Having a meltdown. It makes him, I think that entire like 20-minute gap and then the episode before with him going back to the laboratory where he was made was some of the best shit that's been on TV that I've seen in a while. It was a really good flushing out of that character. And in the episode before, you see why he is the way that he is. And then in this episode, you actually see him in full go mode. Like he's having this change as a person to where his disdain for humanity is dwindling. Like he's giving
really
less
crazy.
He's giving less of a fuck about these humans in these past 2 episodes. And it was scary to me when he came out to his son and said, hey, as far as I'm concerned, this world is just us two winning. Everybody else can fucking die. That's like some fucking
apocalyptic
invincible shit. Like that's some like invincible
very
shit, you know
very much Omni-Man. Yeah,
right.
Kind of what I was thinking. Is the moment he said that shit, I was like, oh fuck, that's Omni-Man, dude.
Yeah, so like he is now focused on this kid, and he is going to, until his last breath, he is going to manipulate this kid into being a newer and better him.
But it looked like he didn't even need to go that far, man, because you saw how he was reacting to like helping the girl, and then he was like slap him, right? And then she slaps him, and he's like, again. And then he kind of like starts to find enjoyment in watching the guy, who of course was bad though, become punished and kind of be
terrorized. That's the manipulation part. Yeah. That's the part. Like he manipulated his son so well that after he hurt, because he asked him, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I just want to help people. All right, well, you can help that girl over there by making her slap the shit out of him until he's bloody. He's manipulating him to still in whichever way that he wants to make sure that his kid is going to turn out the way that he wants.
Yeah.
And again, it's all from what was going on in the past 2 episodes. And it was great to have that delivered in that area. And now the kid is sipping the fucking chocolate milkshake just like his dad, because now he's turning into his dad. And he doesn't even realize it.
Yeah. I thought it was really good dynamics the way they wrote this episode out.
Yeah.
Like I said, Anthony Starr's Homelander ends up going to visit his origin place and then comes back and he's doing a bunch of like he's just, like you said, like he's just in a, I don't really care. I don't really have any emotion towards this anymore. Like it's below me. I'm not even going to worry about it. You know what I mean? I'm just going to worry, like you said, he's just going to worry about his kid and how it comes out and just making sure that kid understands that, you know, it's him against the world. Yeah, it's him against the world.
He's above everyone, and no one, like, he can do whatever he wants and whatever he chooses. And the kid has been trying to battle that. He's been trying to fight that, you know, this entire time. But now it looks like he's starting to give into it, and we'll see how this turns out.
Yeah. And I think that the dynamic because like you said, like he doesn't want to be evil. He doesn't want to be like evil, which is like where I think, because that's been my biggest concern is in the comic book, he ends up fighting Noir in the end because Noir's a complete clone of him, right? But I think when Noir dies, it kind of dynamically changed the entire story to what they're doing with Noir right now. In fact, they didn't even really have him in this series, in this episode, right? So he wasn't
No.
even really in it. That was super crazy. But except for when they're talking about doing like the movies and shit like that with her and Sister Stage, and I was like, this is so dumb. But you can see it more of like a clearer path what they're going to do with how they're going to make it to where the son's going to be the one that goes against him, because what it's going to be is he's going to realize his dad's been evil and bad, and he just wants to help people, and he's going to go extremely beyond and do the Homelander kind of like bullshit torture stuff to Homelander, and then turn around and look at Billy and be like, hey, but I'm a good guy. But he's going to do like the most like grotesque way to kill Homelander. Shit. You know what I mean? It's gonna be super disgusting on the way he's gonna kill Homelander, and then he's gonna turn around and be like, "Hey, but I'm your hero. I did good," and people are gonna be so scared of him because it's just gonna be Homelander just in a different way. Because can you imagine if it's something like story wise that someone destroys the most evilest person in the most evilest way possible, and then turns around and then expects you to believe that they're a hero also? You're going to look at him and be like, fuck, no, dude, you're wild, bro. Because it just takes one bad day to just fucking ruin that dude. And then Billy Butcher will have to choose a way to try to kill his kid. And it's going to be crazy. I'm super excited. The show's been going pretty good. Like I said, there's been some stuff that hasn't really landed too much. I don't really feel like the Starlight stuff is anything good, but they did kind of flesh it out a little bit more in this season or in this episode.
That has been some gnarly shit, bro. They've chosen her to tackle some of their fucking most
bigger
shit. Yeah.
Which has been all right, but like I kind of feel like like it hadn't really been landing. But this one, when they introduced Victoria and they kind of had her kind of have that one-on-one talk, and then she turns around and punches her in the mouth and like kind of like telling her like, hey, I know what's up. I've been in the same shit. Like kind of like trying to like reconcile her situation, and then her flip on her. Like I dug that. Like I literally like what you said. Like Giancarlo and Victoria's performance in this saved this episode dynamically, like really, really well. Yeah. And that chick had kind of been in the episodes, but the dynamic between her and Giancarlo was really good. So to see that she kind of like saves him at the end kind of like gave me like, oh, dude, badass. Because I couldn't even remember if he was dead or alive. Like
I'm so glad that they took this opportunity to show bring him back, because it was like you said, it was just on the border of even forgetting that he was even in the show.
Yeah. So that was
that was another point that I wanted to make. I think that he's needed because I think outside of like the 2 or 3 actors that are just knocking this out the park, everyone else is kind of like subpar, right? And even dude, you even have a show that has fucking what's the guy's name from fucking Walking Dead?
Oh, what is it? Billy Butcher or whatever?
No,
you're talking about fucking from Supernatural. Yeah, Negan's character.
No. Yeah, Negan.
Yeah, he's the dad in Supernatural.
All right, so you even have him, and he really doesn't. And although I think Jeffrey Dean. So I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So I think even the little bit that we're getting is good, but like I think they're wasting him.
Yeah, he feels so cool, dude. That whole scene when both of them kind of like walk in at the end and they have that guy like tied up.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like just like the good old days. It kind of gives you like that Negan vibe that he has like a real sinister self to him.
But he has such small parts though. Like I need more of that.
Yeah, they're just like sprinkling him in little parts of the episode, and you're like, come on, man, I really need this guy. He's a good actor. I like what he does.
He's awesome,
give me a little bit more. So I hope we're gonna get a little bit more. It looks like it. And then the whole Billy Butcher smiling at the end. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Did you see the horns?
I don't think I noticed. I was too busy worrying about whether or not.
So if you watch that episode at the end when he turns around and smiles and he dips his head, the shadow of his widow's peak creates 2 horns in his head. Okay. Like out of the lighting. It was really smart that they're going to be more like Diabolical. And they even mentioned the Diabolical cartoon. And then they even brought in the 2 actors from Gen V. What'd you think of that?
I appreciated it.
Yeah, me too.
I think it'd have been better if they had more to do, but whatever. It was cool. It was like a little cool thing for people that actually watched. Yeah, it was like a really cool thing for people that actually watch fucking Gen V.
So. And what was cool, like you said, also is that like the factor of like they were done in such a small way. They did get speaking roles. They did get to say something, but they were there with the 7. So there's a possibility, like at the end when they do the damage to the one character that you were talking about. I don't want to ruin too much for people who haven't seen it, but like it was so cool to see them amongst those people in the tower with the 7 in front of Homelander. and then being like, we'll do whatever you want, Homelander, you just let us know. And it's like, oh cool, like maybe these people are going to be coming out in the show, and then it will develop into what the next season of Gen V is going to be, because we know that we're going to return to that, and that doesn't really have any source material, so it's going to be all organic on what it's based on. So even cooler. I thought it was a great setup. But yeah, highly recommended. I think The Boys is doing fantastic right now. Really high up there. I can't really give it a rating too much, but on a scale of like 1 to 5, it's got to definitely be a 4 or 5. Like just up there, just fun, watchable entertainment. Something that's refreshing right now. Very palate cleansing when it comes to watching stuff, and yeah, which will take us into our next conversation, which is still kind of a big talking point on the internet, and probably something that's kind of been in the 50-50 marks. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people don't like it. The good amount of people do like it, but the Acolyte recap we got going on. So Brian, how about yourself? You got Acolyte episode 5, which a lot of people are donning as the best episode that's been out this season. Comparing it to, of course, the 1 through 4 that's been going on, 3 being the one that was supposed to go crazy, break the internet, 4, which really didn't have any kind of like carry on value. Now it's this episode 5, which apparently like was top notch. Me, myself, I'm not going to lie. I kind of lost interest in this show. I haven't really been putting it as a priority. I'm not trying to like,
so wait, are you saying you didn't watch it?
Didn't watch it. Didn't really. I had things that were going on this week. I told you. And while I was prioritizing during my day, when I got the free time, I saw The Boys, and I didn't really like push myself to try to find the episode 5. I was like, I'm going to catch it in recaps. People will kind of put out stuff on the internet. I'll spoil it for myself or whatnot. But apparently I missed some interesting things. I mean, it introduces a character that, brought some interesting concepts to the lore and all this stuff. So I'm going to ask you, in the sense of like, okay, I got to see a couple of these episodes, kind of not feeling it. It kind of let me down already, but I want you to tell me, because between you and I, you're the one that's mostly enjoying the show a lot more than I am. And I'd like to hear it from you, like in a positive way, because I could be like everybody else, just talk shit about it. Like, yeah, like as a Star Wars fan, does it fuck up some of the lore? Yeah. Does it kind of let me down? Yeah. Did the chick make some crazy video that was really fucking stupid and cringy and kind of like dumb? Yeah. Is the show like astronomically something crazy? No. Like, but the idea of if someone's out there enjoying it, I'm cool with that. I'm cool to hear someone talk about it in that way. I love Star Wars. I don't know where they're going with it right now, and I don't feel like positive. But again, I was a fan pre-Disney, I guess you could say, and now that they have all the new Disney stuff that's coming out, like it's a lot more different. But I'd like to know, like I said, like I got a lot of stuff off the internet, so I know a lot of people are pretty cool about this episode and whatnot, but they're not happy about the show. But tell me how you enjoyed episode 5 of The Acolyte. Like, what did you enjoy? What was your pros and cons? So that's what I want to hear.
First off, I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I think it gave me one of the best saber fights ever.
Wow, shit.
Ever. Not the best ever. One of the best ever.
Okay.
I still put what is it? Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, Anakin versus Obi-Wan in Mustafar.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, hands down,
is my favorite. Down. And then episode 1 with Darth Maul at the end, which had some remnants of this here. I don't want to spoil it. But it was really fucking good, bro. Really good. And the Daphne, what's her name? Daphne, the X-23 chick.
X-23. Yeah, she's Jackie or something like that.
Bro, she's good, yo. She's good. She's really good as an action star.
Oh, like, yeah, she's
really fucking
I mean,
good,
dude,
bro.
Logan, I mean, at the age of like 11 years old, she was fucking knocking it out of the park. There's no way. And that's why I was telling people, like, there's no way they're not going to let this kid turn 17 and not bring her into the Deadpool movie. Like, there's no way. She's made for action films. She literally
After what I saw from this episode, she 1000% needs to be in Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, 100%.
1000%. Like that the fight scene. So this whole episode is basically one long fight scene. The whole episode. There's some dialogue.
Let me jump into this real quick. Nico,
What?
did you get to watch The Acolyte?
Oh fuck no.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so.
God, Nico!
I wanted to ask that, but I didn't want to put it on.
For the past, dude, for the past
for the
3 or
whole
4
past
weeks, you guys
week,
keep
yeah.
asking me. No,
he's had to come in here every week and tell us, no, bro, I don't watch.
I thought you would have broken.
No, I'm over here nice and quiet. I'm self-reflecting, which I'm starting to notice. I got a big ass fucking forehead, bro. Look at this shit.
It's a
land a car.
This is not a good angle for me
too, bro. So it is what it is, bro.
This is not a good angle.
I wanted to ask because I didn't know if like maybe by us talking about it, like you were like, I'm gonna check this shit out, and maybe jumped into it. But no, it's gonna feel bad because you're not saying anything. Like you can't.
No, I don't give a shit. It's fine. I just can't believe I came in a shitty time, bro. Like I didn't get to watch The Acolyte.
No.
I haven't seen The Boys.
I've been thinking about
damn.
it ever since you said it. I'm gonna tee you up in 1 second once we get finished with this bullshit. I'm gonna tee you up on something that we can talk about and we can finish out strong. But
thank you.
I got you. So I was gonna say, yeah, so this whole episode is just one drawn out fucking action
fight
sequence.
Scene.
Fight
nice.
scene. The choreo is fucking amazing. So I actually saw some people breaking down the lightsaber battles and kind of like nitpicking everything. People just need to get a fucking life. That shit was fucking cool. Right, it was fucking cool, and I need more of that. If this whole show was giving me more of that
action,
they would be a lot better off. The problem is they just didn't write a good show. They didn't write a good show, and so that reminds me. So out of the blue, guess who fucking just hit me up in my inbox to talk about Star Wars and Acolytes? Give you one guess.
I don't know.
All right, I'll spoil it for you. Mr. Michael Betancourt came out of the blue. Came out the blue and was like, "Yo, B, what do you think about this episode? Because I know you've had some thoughts about it, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on it." So him and I had a really good back and forth as to our thoughts on this show. And I want to take this time out to say, much prayers to Mike. He just had his surgery. Get well soon. We would love to have you on soon to talk about Star Wars and Acolyte and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So whenever you're ready, we're here for you. So we were going back and forth about just the pros and cons of this episode, and I was saying, the choreo was awesome. The fights. The lightsaber fights were awesome. It's just the problem is the writing, the writing, the dialogue, all that shit. I still, for the life of me, I can't see where all this money was spent. I think you could have probably made this for cheaper. But the point that they did get, which it's funny because I thought it was going to be reversed. I thought they were going to get the dialogue and the writing and crush it and kind of lack on the action and the choreo and all that stuff. But it turns out that it was the opposite. Like every action sequence that I've seen so far has been the highlight of the show or highlight of that episode. Right. So it's a lot more of this. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. You guys are going to see it or not see it in Nico's case. And it's basically just gonna be some cool lightsaber fights that we got to see some new Sith apprentice that is looking for a pad or looking for an apprentice for his own to probably take out whoever his master is, who is still yet to be revealed. So that's what the episode's about.
Okay, cool. And this one, like the internet has said across the board, like you 100% agree where it's like the best episode so far of the whole season?
I think I came into our chat and said that shit. I don't think I even went to the internet yet, but I said that out of my own mouth. I said this is probably the best. It's not probably. It is the best episode in the series so far.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I watch a lot of different style of YouTubers, and a lot of them I have some that have praised the show and some of them that don't praise the show, but across the board, the majority are saying like, this is probably the best episode. And where the complaint comes after that is like, but it's coming in episode 5, not earlier where we need it, like where we need it to be more. So that way it compels the audience to want to watch it and stuff like that stuff too. Does it feel kind of weird that the fighting is so advanced back in the past than it is in the future of these shows? like in the movies and stuff, like organically, or is it okay either way because it's still just fun overall? Because that's what I kind of feel like. Continuity is kind of like my big stickler, right? And I said, like, you know, they could have added a bunch of like sink faucets or like the outdoor faucets, the ones that have like the little grating, to just make things look a little bit more steampunk, or like maybe a battery packed lightsaber or something like that, like something to kind of make it feel older in time.
Yeah.
But like the number one thing that kind of like fucking it's rad, but it takes me out is like everyone fights so fucking badassly in the past. Like everyone does flips and kung fu, and like the way that chick May or Osha was doing like the jumping, spinning shit against the guy that was floating in the third episode. Like there's just so many like badass things these people are doing. And then you go to like the other movies and you're like, wow, these guys just spin their shit in their hand and they don't do shit with movements, like no kicks, no punches. Like the one thing that I heard very well about this show, and you can tell me if it's something that you thought of or if you noticed, or if you just kind of look past it because it was just fighting, is like the rawness of the some of the way like the main villain is fighting. Like it's very raw, it's very like tribal as to the way he's fighting, that it kind of adds a cool dynamic to the way the sword fighting is.
So they actually mentioned that in the show. So you did point out one thing. There is a lot of hand-to-hand combat in this episode.
Oh, cool.
A lot.
Cool.
And yeah, so they mentioned it. They were saying, so Yorg, who is the
One
Jedi,
of
the Jedis, he basically you know, said out loud, you know, this guy, he's fighting like there's no rules. Like the Jedi are so coordinated, and when you go and watch them in that on Coruscant, you know,
the classes and stuff,
they're so uniformed and shit like that. And he said that he was like, this guy, he's not uniform. He did, like, his movements don't make any sense, you know. So that's
doesn't
the reason
respect
why,
the rules.
exactly. So that's the reason why he was able to have his way with the Jedi, because he's so raw, and he's just basically just fucking, I don't know.
What's up, Eels? No, we're not talking about the same thing. We're talking about the next episode, dude. It's a series, bro. We cover an episode every week. This guy's like, same thing. What the fuck? And it's like, no, dude.
So hold on. So Nico, are you planning on watching the Acolyte at all? Or no? Okay. All right.
Yo, let me ask both of you something, because this is something that goes across the board. And I'm happy Nico's here. I would have asked David the same thing because he's just as knowledgeable on this. 100%. You think these fucking toys go to the clearance section at Walmart, or do you think they sell?
Clearance.
Brian?
What?
The toys of all these characters. You think they sell at conventions and all that shit, or you think they just go straight to fucking clearance, bro?
Dude, if I were them and if I had control over that fucking money, I wouldn't make any fucking. I would not make
fucking
any
Brian. That's so good. Yo, I'm not even kidding.
Toys.
I saw this YouTube channel the other day that had like Walmart. Like it was, I don't know what it was, bro, but it was like Disney fucking clearance toys or whatever. And they were like, look at all these clearance toys. They're all the last movies and all the last stuff that they made. Like nothing's selling. Nobody's buying all this shit anymore.
You'll
like they
be
all
wasting
suck.
money. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person on the planet still watching this fucking show. So unless you think I'm gonna go to the store and buy up all your fucking figures, bro, you're
I don't see anybody clamoring at your fucking action figure. I don't see anybody asking for that shit. Nobody's gonna be like on my Christmas list, Daddy, please give me a your action figure. Nah, man, not at all, dude. That's so crazy, man. Because beforehand, if you remember, like everything was made in the sense of like having some type of like toy merchandise, right? Like everything, all the characters were developed in the sense of like, no, we're gonna make a fuckload of money making toys, and it kind of feels like they're not. That's not a factor anymore. It really doesn't feel like a factor. What do you think, man? And I'm talking about like, consider that the question on the sense of like the toys and all that stuff in the last like 5 years of filmmaking when it comes to all these movies. Like, what do you think would have been the most successful toy line out of any film that you've seen in the last 5 years? Out of all the movies, that's Marvel, Disney, DC ain't got nothing.
Marvel, yeah, it's got to be Marvel themed.
What movie out of the Marvel lineup from the last 4 years, 5 years, do you think would actually sell right now, or be in the market? Like people would be like, I want that one.
Probably Spider-Man: No Way Home, right? Something.
Okay, yeah, because that's all nostalgic characters. They already have all those like the models already kind of decked out from like years ago, right?
Yeah,
most of those characters.
Oh shit, we're getting flooded. Actually, I since this is actually on topic, and Adrian, thanks for watching and listening. He asked a question: are you guys yay or nay on Disney Star Wars? I feel like everyone is out on the ridiculousness. To be honest.
To be honest, okay.
So Nico, you let's get you in here, brother. What do you think? Like, because this is actually a question for you, right? Because you're kind of on the
he's
fuck
on
Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts about Disney? He's already
okay.
out,
Look,
but
first off,
He's
I've
already
always been a
he's
huge
already
Star
out.
Wars fan. I've always been a Star Wars fan.
Okay.
But like, it's a hit or a miss. Like, it's like you guys mentioned earlier, or I think it was last week. Mando, fucking amazing. Boba Fett, I like it. It's entertaining. This shit, dude, I don't even have to watch it, and just reading the fucking comments, I don't want to watch it. Like, that's how bad this shit is. Like, it's so fucking negative. It's like, yeah, you know what? It's a waste of time. Everybody's fucking dogging this fucking show that it's one of those where it's like, I don't really want to waste my time watching this shit. If everyone basically agreeing, I would say like 80% of the people agree that it's not the greatest, or that it's building up too fucking slow.
Okay, but don't you want to form your own opinion? Don't you want to just see, like, for me, personally, if something is bad, even though I want to know why, especially when it comes to something that I hold near.
I didn't see Madam Web. That shit fucking sucks.
I understand, but how involved are you? But seriously though, if you think about it, like, how involved are you? How involved are you with Spider-Man and in that universe? Like, you're not really involved. When it comes to Star Wars, this is something that you've grown up with and you've dealt with your entire life. So, like, when it comes to this show, you wouldn't just want to see for yourself at least a couple episodes.
Yo, straight up, that Madam Web comment was wild, dude. I almost fucking died right now. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. But no, I mean, I get what Nico's saying. Like
you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you have to fucking get us, and you got to get our fucking attention within the first. Look, the way I see it now is with TikTok, the Vines back in the day, all these things, we have very short attention spans. You have to fucking nail us on the first fucking episode. If you don't, you lose us. And I'm being realistic. We're so short on time, and we don't have the time frame to just stand there and watch the entire fucking show and slowly wait for it to build up. You got to give us a fucking banger immediately, or else everyone's gonna say it sucks.
I get that. Yeah. What I'm just saying is, from my perspective, and I'm kind of agreeing with you, because 9 times out of 10, if something's getting a bad review,
we're burning it today. Oh my god,
I don't know.
No,
I'm kind of disagreeing, but I'm trying to frame it. I'm trying to frame it nice though.
You just had to.
I'm just saying. Like, 9 times out of 10, if there's bad reviews for something, I'm probably not gonna check it out. But of all the fucking fan bases to listen to, this is probably the worst to not be able to form your own opinion, just for how fucking toxic this shit is. Like, you can't take what those fans are saying, at face value. There are alternative agendas at play here. Always. That's how big this shit is. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna listen to any fucking demo or any fucking collective, Star Wars should be the last place you fucking go to, because people are still butthurt from the fucking prequels. People are still hurt from the fucking sequels. People are still butthurt from whatever the fuck that they've been butthurt over, and are still even butthurt over the fact that Kathleen Kennedy is still in charge there. So like, there's just a lot of things that people are upset about that can be running to the fucking internet to say whatever they're gonna say. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I want to say,
if it was split down the middle and it was like a 50-50, or 60-40, I'd be like, you know what? Let me give it a chance. This is like fucking 80-90% of people.
Let's take the accolade. Let's take the accolade out of this, because
let's
you're
talk
right.
About Star Wars in general, right?
Yeah, because that question that we read was
in general.
Was in general.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Let's take the accolade out of this, and I'm just saying, just in general, that I get what you're saying, because 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not going to check out something as well. But the thing is when it comes to this fan base, this collective, you cannot depend on what other people are saying.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
gonna have to watch it and just figure it out yourself, bro.
But I was gonna say, like, with the current dichotomy of how Star Wars is right now and how it has been in recent years, it's actually brought together a lot of the old school people that like Star Wars and appreciate the all the way to the prequels. Like, all the prequels are still like beloved. It wasn't until the new movies, the Force Awakens or whatever, that a lot of people got into this idea that what the fuck are they doing with Star Wars? Like a lot of the newer generation stuff, when Disney accepted and bought into Star Wars and started making its stuff, is kind of when people started agreeing that the old school with what we had was good. It was good the way it was. Like, why are they trying to change it like into what they want, right? Because then you had the Force Awakens, you know, the Last Jedi, you had all that stuff pop off, and no one really cared for it. No one really cared for it, and we can blame it across the board. It could be the writers. It could be the 3 directors they chose or the 2 directors that they chose that messed up on the second one. They should have kept the J.J. Abrams all the way through, so it was a consistent story. But then they got into the streaming services, and I think the streaming services, other than The Mandalorian, which is a very special subject, right? Which is because of the fact that they were like, hey, you know, we're not going to do anything with Boba Fett. We need something. And they're like, yo, I have Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau came in and we're like, yo, we have an idea. And they created this whole new fucking character, and they put a lot of fucking effort into it. A lot of effort into it. And then people were like, holy fuck, this is amazing. But it's like I said, how do you take a team like that does so fucking good with that show and then fucks all the regular stuff up? Like, how do you do so fucking well with a character that doesn't have a story? The Mandalorian, whole brand new original character made up, all the characters made up. And then you bring Boba Fett and you fuck it all up. You bring Obi-Wan, you fuck it up. Ahsoka, you fuck it up. Now you bring in the Acolyte, which is a whole new show, fucked up or whatever.
Well,
for what
me,
it's worth.
if you're asking me that question, I think the common denominator is that there's expectations, right? There's expectations with Obi-Wan. There's expectations with Boba Fett. There's expectations when it comes to Ahsoka. There were no expectations for the Mandalorian.
But the thing is like you have so much more backstory and idea on how to know, like, you know exactly how to run.
But with that comes again expectations. People are going to expect you to stick to the lore.
Well,
stick to every. Yeah, he does.
No, because there was no backstory to the character.
No, that was the whole point of why it sucked. Is because he was a badass fucking bounty hunter that didn't act like a badass bounty hunter in the fucking show. That was the expectations.
No, he was told to be a badass bounty hunter that then got knocked off by a fucking random bullshit. That's why I said it was a comedy. That's actually what are they going off of?
That's expectation. What are you talking about? That's the expectations that you
have.
That would
100%. To put that into perspective in a different example, that would be the movie John Wick, the first movie. They steal the car. He takes it to the mechanic. John Leguizamo and says, man, you fucked up. You stole from the most craziest assassin. He comes in and chokes on a fucking piece of bubble gum and dies. John Wick just dies. And you're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, John Wick was supposed to be this fucking badass assassin, and he ain't shit. What the fuck? That was Boba Fett. Boba Fett, he didn't have a backstory.
Is that not, Nico, am I bugging, or is that not the expectations that are placed on the character that people are expecting and then don't get it, right?
No, it's that Boba Fett was.
I'm asking Nico because he's the third party. Am I tripping? I asked Nico. This guy asked. He's not going to agree with me. Fuck.
I thought I was on The View. I was about to jump everybody else's fucking questions. I was about to just jump over everybody else's.
This is the time where it doesn't pay to always disagree with the one person you need on your side at that one particular moment. All right.
Touché. Okay, what were you going to say? So, Nico, go ahead, man.
No, touche. I got it. No, but I was going to say, like, you're basically explaining my point, bro. That is the expectations that we placed on Boba Fett, and it's the listen, all of these shows had expectations, whether you wanted to acknowledge it or not. There were expectations coming from Boba Fett. There were even more expectations coming from Obi-Wan when they shit the bed on that. And then there were a lot of expectations coming from Ahsoka. The two shows that didn't have expectations that seemed to have done pretty well, one extremely well, one so, but you know, it's kind of down the middle, are the original IPs, the Mandalorian, Andor, things of that nature.
I forgot, you know what I'm saying?
things that don't have expectations, things that you don't know where they're. You have no expectations for Andor.
Well,
you have no expectations for the Mandalorian. So
the other
if they
thing,
give you some cool shit, if they just let me land real quick. If they give you some cool shit, then you just accept it for cool shit, and there's nothing else that has to be attached to it.
Yeah. So the other thing that people are talking about is that the reason why things like the Boba Fett and all the other ones that were already a part of the original Star Wars thing is because it was still a part of George Lucas's vision. And the newer Kathleen Kennedy and her team does not really want to be like dwelling on George Lucas's vision anymore. So they kind of don't give that a lot of attention, and they want their IPs to be more successful, which is why there's so much more pressure and push onto making those better. Because you look at the Mandalorian, there's no reason why the Mandalorian should have done, or the Boba Fett had landed so badly compared to the Mandalorian, when it's basically based on the same type of character. Basically the same thing. Even to bring it out in the same season or dichotomy around the same area would be just ignorant to have a Boba Fett and a Mandalorian show when both characters are practically the same guy, literally the same guy. Bounty hunter, goes around doing bounty hunting things, doing his own thing. It's just Boba Fett. Literally, it's all it is. So like, even the characters that Boba Fett runs into are probably characters that all know Mandalorian. You know what I mean? So like, yeah,
but I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but you're missing.
It's a hard.
But you're missing one key thing is that the things that executed, like the Mandalorian, they had Filoni and Favreau at the helm. Those other shows did not. So
which is what I wanted to ask too. Like, why
so, that's the reason why they didn't land, or that's the reason why. Like, honestly, if you think that you give Obi-Wan to Dave and John, you don't think they knocked that shit out the park, bro? And like,
and that's what I wanted to ask you guys. Do you think that a lot of reason why this isn't as successful is because Dave Filoni by himself doesn't have the vision that Jon Favreau had to put it on paper? Like when Jon Favreau was here and they did The Mandalorian, it was really fucking good. And the moment Jon Favreau leaves and isn't a part of these other films or anything, like it all kind of just goes to mediocre, and then it drops completely on the acolyte. Like, do you think that Jon Favreau played a huge part in the factor of The Mandalorian's success because of his vision?
I think they both did.
Yeah. But now that he's gone. Comment? Oh, what do we got? What does it say? Say it out loud. I don't know. What'd you point at? I didn't read.
On Elizabeth.
Yeah. Go ahead. Read it.
Okay, so it says, I don't know how in the comics they had basically Boba Fett toe to toe with Vader, but they fucking nerfed him in the show.
Yeah.
Expectations.
Well, that's I mean,
you can't sit here. Right? You can't sit here and tell me that there weren't expectations for that Boba Fett show. Like, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, of course. Everybody went in there excited. I think I was the only one that I told you, like, I wanted to have it like an accidental spy thing where he just goes out there and accidentally does his job because he's a klutz. And I thought that would have been funny because there's really no other evidence we ever had that Boba Fett was this astronomical assassin. You know what I mean? We never had that throughout the stories, only in the comics. But the comic books, if I'm not mistaken, are all jumbled in together with all the legacy books and everything like that too. Unless it was done Marvel Star Wars, then it's not a part of the Marvel universe anymore. Or the Star Wars universe. If I'm not mistaken.
If Thrawn is canon, then everything is on the table for canon, bro.
No, because the legacy has already been removed. That's why even in the idea of like them using that weird cone head guy and then changing the birthday and then them using the armor for legacy. Yeah. You could look that up. Yeah, I think like they used like a special kind of armor that was in this episode. And that was from the Legacy comic books. That was from the Legacy books back in the day, and those aren't canon anymore. And George Lucas in an interview came in and said, the Legacy stuff is not canon anymore. What I've done was I gave them all the information from that stuff, but it's not feasible. They could use it however they want. It's a treasure trove. And that's what they're kind of piecing from. So like, if I'm not mistaken, the only comic books that are in are one of them that's like one about a mechanic chick or a mechanic or whatever they call them. The High Republic is another one, which is where like Yor and a lot of these characters came from.
But you're specifically saying like a specific comic isn't canon, but there's multiple
There's a
comics.
shitload.
Yeah, there's multiple comics that are canon though.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like where Elizabeth's talking about. She's talking about the older comic books. There was another company that ran the comic books for Star Wars, which is when they were part of George Lucas's franchise before he sold. Okay. When they sold to Disney, Disney already has Marvel, and Marvel was making comic books for all the IPs that Disney owns. So that's when they started creating.
She's basically saying it right there.
Disney's a shit. I mean, the sequels were like no expanded universe comic books, the Star Wars Force Unleashed, but then they used some of the storylines and then fudged it all up. Yeah, because it's like George Lucas, when he did the interview, he just said like all of that stuff isn't feasible anymore. It's all just a treasure trove I gave to Kathleen Kennedy, and she could do whatever she wants with it now.
Oh my God, Vince, please.
Yeah, I'm with Adrian. I'm pretty sure some of the legacy stuff has been used as canon. I could be wrong, but
it's very loose on how they're using a lot of that stuff. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like I said, if you guys want to, there is an interview of George Lucas talking about that. And
hey, completely off topic. It's because last week we were talking about it, and we were talking about Spaceballs, right?
Oof,
God.
Oh man, that just killed Brian.
No. I just had to bring it up. Did you guys ever watch the movie Fanboys?
Yes.
No.
Did you like? You never saw it?
I've never seen it.
I did. I saw it.
Good. It's pretty good. Anyways,
it's funny.
Okay, what did you think about it, Chris?
I mean, it was been a long time, but it was funny. I mean, for the time, I mean, it was very like the convention scene of a bunch of guys going to a convention. It was very much like a very relaxed, more movie than fucking Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Like, I guess you could say, where it's like these two guys trying to get to a convention or something like that, if I remember.
Okay, so basically what it is, it's a group of friends. They lose contact, and then one of them ends up getting sick. He's got cancer, so he's slowly dying. And this is right before episode 1 officially drops.
They wanted to get the story.
To the farm. They're trying to get to George Lucas's ranch. Farm. Yeah, they're trying to get to the ranch and supposedly sneak into the ranch to steal and watch the first episode uncut. Yeah. So, dude, I fucking love that movie, and I don't know why it just clicked in my head because we're talking about all the Star Wars shit.
Yeah.
And dude, honestly, if they could even remotely get close to that on Spaceballs, I'm not saying it has to be completely like the original Spaceballs, but like little cuts here and there, kind of like that. I think it's gonna be okay. Now, I'm agreeing with some of the fucking comments that they're putting here, bro. Like, honestly, lately Disney has gone fucking downhill with all the Star Wars shit lately. Mm-hmm. And it's like you said, and even Brian said it, ever since episode 1 and all these other fucking prequels and sequels and all these other fucking things, it seems like the animations are pretty decent. I don't know. That's just me. The video games have done fairly well. Yeah. But for some fucking reason, it's like
their video games are awesome.
I'm agreeing with Brian on this. The expectations of some of these characters and the way that they portray the character, like this guy's supposed to be a fucking badass. He's supposed to be unstoppable. He's one of the best fucking bounty hunters in the galaxy. He's one of the well-known guys out there. He's supposed to be a fucking badass.
And from that show, did you feel like he was one of the most badass fucking bounty hunters in the fucking world, bro? Like, no.
He's trash.
He was every time you looked up, he was getting his ass kicked. Bro.
He was getting his ass kicked by everybody, dude. Everybody having hands with him.
Literally, everyone kicked his ass.
Bro, craziest bounty hunter with the most craziest reputation, and some dude selling water is back talking his ass in the fucking little cities.
Yeah.
Someone's talking mad shit to him that just sells water to kids, to the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger.
To the Mighty I forgot about them goddamn bikes, kids. Bro.
Yeah, dude. It was almost like they tried to make his character a joke. Like, that's really what it felt like, is they just wanted to make his character a joke.
That show was so bad.
Yeah, that show was bad.
It was so bad.
Yeah, like it sucks when you have to like revisit, because even with that, we have expectations of all these shows in our memory because we're trying to keep them up there because we love the IP so much.
And that's the problem. That's the problem, is that we have these expectations. So as fans, we want something that's just never going to deliver.
What happened? Nico said something. Nico, can you hear me? Nico, can you hear us? Oh, he's got me some technical difficulties, but yeah, he'll hear me right now once he gets it back. I don't know if he can hear me.
But yeah, it's a shame because I think that some of these have been layups, and
Yes.
they've just been blowing it. Like the Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan is that to me was damning for them. I think what they did to the Obi-Wan show was really, really fucking bad. That was really bad. And I don't think they've recovered. Well, they haven't recovered for a while, but that was kind of like, do you understand the hype that was surrounding that show? And for them just to lay a dud, it wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look. And it sucks because now there's a show that's, in my opinion, semi fucking, interesting. It's just gonna fall on fucking deaf ears. Like no one's gonna give it a fucking shot.
Are you talking about like the Acolyte?
Yeah.
You still feel like it's pretty interesting, like solid, like
I mean,
even with the storytelling that you said was not.
I think that it's halfway through, and I don't know how this is gonna end. Maybe it can, but people were over it after the first fucking episode, bro. Like you said last week was at a 4, bro. I don't think, and I gotta reiterate this. Do you understand how bad something has to be? How collectively people have to shit on something
for it to be that low,
14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And that's
like I can't understand this more.
It was an 11. Before I talked to you, it was an 11, and then it jumped back to 14.
I was shocked. That was
yeah. I thought you knew that when I told you, and when I was like, "Bro, how is it that it's an 84 critic and a 14?" and you were like, "A what?"
I'm over here like trying to convince Nico to watch this shit, and it's sitting at a fucking 14%.
I remember you were like, "Nah, man."
It's sitting at a 14%, bro. My bad, Nico, man. Don't watch that bullshit, bro.
That was wild as fuck, dude. And it was so crazy, like how you like. That was wild, man. The fucking it was wild because it was like I was talking to Brian, and Brian was like, "Nah, Chris, like you're being too critical. The fans are toxic. It all sucks. This fucking show's good." And I was like, "How if across the board it's at a 14%?" And you were like, "A what?" And I was like,
listen, that show is not a fucking 14%, bro. Like there are some shit out there. No, there is some shit out there that is worthy of a 14. Like. Would you rather watch this or Morbius? Like I don't know. I probably
Morbius.
Watch Morbius.
I watched more. Yeah, dude. That's
but honestly, like I don't know if it lands at a 14%, bro.
Look, what's crazy? What the fuck is it at now? Is you can go and check right now, and if
I go right now, you probably
Star Wars
Christmas looked.
The Star Wars Christmas special, which was deemed one of the worst things on television in history, is probably higher than it. Like I'm not even fucking. This is why I asked, like maybe like a week ago, if you think they cancel it halfway through.
How is it still 14% after episode 5, bro? All right, now you know what, y'all are just trolling, bro.
How? Now you guys are just it yourself. There's so many people that have to connect to be able to keep it.
Crazy. That's crazy, bro. For it to not jump up at all after its best episode, that you guys are trolling, bro.
Well, you know what I think it is because
there's a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make sense. It's still at a 14% after one of the best lightsaber. Just the lightsaber battle alone should raise it at least a 15, 16.
Well, that's the thing is there was an apparent like 30% drop off of people watching the show.
No, I agree with you, Adrian. I don't think one episode carries a show. It still has a lot to prove, but for it to not improve in the ratings at
least
all,
1%, yeah,
at all,
yeah,
bro. This show,
but at least like one, yeah, that's fucking show, dude.
A fight scene doesn't either. What? Oh my! It's like no, an average fight scene. I understand that. I get it. You guys are about to just dogpile on me, but fuck it, let's do it. Like, let's do it. Nah, fuck it, let's do this shit. Like one fight scene, yeah, I get it, but this wasn't like a mid fight scene. It brought back some fucking some metal from like some deep cut Star Wars
legacy.
Lore.
They've decided to bring in legacy stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This motherfucker was using some metal that was short out fucking lightsabers and will whip their ass with. That's some cool Star Wars shit, bro. How does it not jump up from 14 to 15 off of that alone? This is a conspiracy, bro. This is bullshit.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's conspiracy. You said it yourself earlier when you were like, it's so difficult to get that many people to be on the same page to drop it that low. But no, but let me tell you, I mean, but you're absolutely correct. How do you keep it that low for a whole week, dude? You would think that it would like fluctuate in some way. And it's not fluctuating. It's not fluctuating. And again, are you on Rotten Tomato right now or what?
No, I'm on it right now.
Type in Star Wars Christmas special. Go check. Go type that shit.
Fucking Star Wars Christmas special.
Because that was the worst thing in comic book and Star Wars history. And it's been told that the Acolyte is lower than.
It's gonna help your argument. Fuck that show. What I'm saying is that doesn't I don't know, man. Just in my head, that doesn't make sense.
Do you think this goes back to what Nico was talking about, to where like they didn't land it on the first episode, so like no one gives a fuck about this show anymore?
Yeah, no, I get that. That's where the 14% comes from.
Yeah, it came from the third episode.
Even the people that are whatever show it came from, even the ones that are still hanging on by a thread, that are like, you know what, I'll still give it a shot. Even that amount of people should have raised it a little bit.
Yeah, but because you made a really good point earlier, Brian, and you said the lightsaber fight scene was good, but the writing just sucks. Yeah. And maybe that's the thing, is like people, they like, don't get me wrong, like it's cool that there's explosions, but like if there's no like something to hold, something like that's solid to the story that's gonna make it feel like it's gonna get any better, maybe this is just what people expect out of Disney. This is just what they expect out of Star Wars. Like Ahsoka, like there was a lot of us that were like, yo, we're like 5 episodes in and they really haven't given us anything. There was that whole Ezra fight scene when she gets to the camp and all of them show up and Ahsoka shows up and all that shit, and they're fighting the Jedis, or they're fighting the stormtroopers, and you're like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, it's cool. It's cool. That looks sharp, but like, what are we doing here? And I think it just falls back on that format, that people understand that it maybe the whole like lightsaber spinning and all that shit's not going to save it.
Wait, you guys haven't seen Arcane?
I haven't seen it. I was going to address that. I haven't seen it. And again, this is actually going back to my point that I was making earlier, is because I'm invested in Star Wars. Yes. I'm not invested in Arcane. So like, you're going to have to like,
neither am I. It was a fucking great show.
I'm not contesting that because I haven't seen it. What I'm saying is you're gonna have to pull a new viewer into it. That's a lot harder than something that I've been watching since I've been fucking 15.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I'm on the Star Wars ride, and I'm just continuing the ride. So yeah, it may be wild to not have seen Arcane and I'm watching Acolyte, but that's because I'm a fucking Star Wars fan.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, speaking about that, Eels is a good one of my homies, and I told him, because he hadn't seen it like Brian, and I was like, you're really missing out. We've kind of been like dwelling in anime and all he different like shows together, so we'll kind of Discord and watch shows and stuff.
Look,
and Arcane is amazing.
My son brought me. He made me watch the show, and it's a really short show. It's not very long.
7 episodes.
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8 episodes. But honestly, it is a really good show. The animation, the graphics, everything looks really good. It looks nice and clean. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, the storyline is somewhat very predictable though. Mm-hmm. You know exactly what's gonna happen, what's gonna play out.
It's kind of like a video game-ish kind of like.
That's what it is. It's exactly what it is.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. It's actually based off of League of Legends, and League of Legends really doesn't have. Like, it does have lore, but you got to be really into the game to do it, because it's got over like 100 characters that you can pick from. It's like a lot of fucking lore if you think about it. Okay. But like, it's just at the bare minimal, like the idea, and they're kind of put it together very well, man. It's a master class on the art too. Beautiful, man, and the soundtrack.
So Nico, you would recommend Arcane for me?
Yes, I would.
Okay,
yeah.
Me too.
All right, I'll give it a shot, because I think
look. You gave Acolytes 5 fucking episodes of your life. Just give these guys 5 and you'll watch the other 3 and you'll finish it.
So that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that. So yeah, I could be wild as fuck for giving Acolyte a shot and not Arcane. So listen, I'm objective. Like I'm fine with being wrong. I'm fine with being wrong. I'm fine with apologizing. You know, we all make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're telling me that, you know, I'm wasting my time with Acolyte and I should watch Arcane, you know, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I kind of I'm one of those people. I'll 100% agree that Arcane to talk about is really, really well put together. Like as a show, it's really nice. It's good. They're like, it's like Nico said, it's not like they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just trying to tell you a good old fashioned story. Yeah. And where I think that they sell it the best is, like I said, you have Sting, dude. Sting is in the fucking soundtrack. Like Sting, the fucking rock star Sting. No, not the wrestler. No, not that guy. He doesn't talk, bro. He just walks around with a baseball bat, which would be cool too on a soundstage. Just fucking folly everything, beat the shit out of it. But no, the singer Sting is in the soundtrack. You know what I mean? Like, and he sings
Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons. But Imagine Dragons.
I saw the video that they did. Right?
It's good, man. And that art is in the same format. The way that they draw the music videos in the same format as the show. The colors are astronomically well. Like it looks like a mobile or a moving oil painting. I don't know how to explain it. It's very cell shading. It's very beautiful. But yeah, it's just good old fashioned story. We watched it when it came out, and I think they dropped the whole season. Which I mean, again, if you were to see Arcane and then compare it to like the way shows have been dropped, like one episode at a time, you're gonna look at that show and be like, damn, dude, with this being a fantastic visual, you know, a badass soundtrack and a good story, and to drop it all in one time, like these guys got it going on. Like I can't wait for season 2.
But the only thing, it's like Chris says. It's nothing mind-blowing. It's not something that's going to be like a story that's never been told or it's never been said. You know, it's just a good story, great animation, good action scenes.
And if you have a child, you can watch it with a child without it worrying about it being egregious or bad. Like, you know, for it to be like PG, yeah, look, Eels is right there. He says that's why it takes time for him to watch it. And then he says, I hope you like it, Brian, because season 2 is coming in November. That's why I got Eels to watch it, because season 2 is going to be coming.
I'll give it a shot. But before we go, because we're running a little bit late, but I wanted to just ask a general question. Listen, we don't get to talk about games a lot on this show, which I hate. Stuff. But there is a game that's coming out that is sparking, hint hint, the interest of two of the co-hosts on this show today, which is myself and Nico. And the game in question is Dragon Ball Sparking fucking Zero, which every fucking week there has been news dropping about this goddamn game. Chris, are you familiar with the game that is going to be just mind-blowing and change the fucking world as you know it? Are you familiar?
Is this the one? I'm gonna put some video up, no sound, just video of this, so that way people can at least see it with the people that we're with.
So I wanted to just take out a few minutes just to give this game a little bit of love, because I'm going to be dedicating all of my free time to this game once it drops in October.
Once it drops?
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, what do you play on?
I'm going to be playing on PS5.
Okay, I'll whoop your ass on PS5.
Oh, good. Shit. Damn, dude.
And they do have this across Xbox. There's this cross-play against Xbox and PlayStation, so you can beat your friend's ass on whatever console they're playing on.
You can take their money.
And it's going to be fun for the entire family.
So is this game kind of like across the seasons, or is this like kind of like combining everything crossover kind, or what?
I think so. It's basically combining basically every fucking game, every Dragon Ball game, known to man.
Okay, Brian. The only thing I didn't like about this is the roster, the way they did the roster.
So they split it up,
as opposed to just getting Goku and switching his Super Saiyan forms or his outfits or whatever. You actually have to choose. Yeah, you actually have to choose the one you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I feel like is kind of a cheat, because they're saying that there's going to be like 160 characters or plus.
Yeah.
Plus the DLC characters that they're going to include. But that's the only thing. Look, right there, that screenshot. Look at that screenshot. They already took up like fucking 10.
Yeah. That's why it's kind of cheating. That's why it's cheating when it's like it's 160 characters. It's like
exactly.
I mean, but that's the thing. Like, you guys as fans, you guys still consider cheating, but you know each one of those characters has like a different skill set.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Nico is just voicing, his problem. I'm actually fine with it. I think that what they're allowing you to do,
I think it would have just been better. You highlight the character and then you just switch to the one you want to choose.
Version.
Yeah,
I guess I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's like it looks like Mr. Satan's there. I don't know what other fucking form he has.
So this game is kind of unique because it's the power base or the power levels are taken into account. So if you pick him and you're going against Golden Frieza,
You're gonna
you're
get
not
railed, dude.
you're gonna get railed. Yeah,
dude, what the fuck?
You're gonna
kind
get
of game
railed,
is this, dude?
which is accurate. You know what I'm saying? So this game is accurate in that sense.
So no one's picking Krillin or Piccolo or
no
Mr.
one's
Satan,
picking
right?
Krillin. No one's
them
but
motherfuckers.
unless you get really good with Krillin, then you could talk shit because you beat someone that was a fucking, Ultra Instinct Goku and you beat him with Krillin. I'd talk mad shit. I would talk hella shit if that happened.
Goku or whatever.
Yeah, this game is gonna be
so
awesome.
Cool, that's so cool.
Yeah, they just dropped. I want to say about a week ago or a couple days ago that is PvP across both platforms, and they have a version, not a version, but like an aspect of this game where you can do entire arcs and change arcs and shit like that, and that's fucking amazing. Like, you don't have to sit there and wait for your friend to load up. You can go do the Namek fucking saga or the fucking, what I'm saying, or the Golden Frieza saga or some shit like
Broly, how Broly would do when he met Frieza.
The Broly saga. Yeah, exactly. The fucking Majin Buu and change it up and just yeah.
Yo, you know what?
Only thing, hold on, Chris. Hold on, really 1 second. The only thing I don't like about this fucking game is that there's 3 tiers, right? So there's 3 tiers in order for you to buy this game. You have the base, which is like $60-$70, right? Then you have the $100 tier, which gives you a little bit more access. I think it's like $106. You get some extra characters. Ugh. I don't know if it comes with a DLC, but it's like $100. Exactly. But all right, so you just hold on for a second, right? You think that's bad? They have a 3rd tier where it's like $230 or $250 fucking dollars, and you get basically everything. You get early access. Mind you, there's no beta version of this game, by the way. So like, they're raw dogging this shit. They're raw dogging this shit. They're just gonna throw that shit out there. And so and then you get like some like collectible fucking action. And then you get like the action figures or some shit like that. Like, you get like some action figures for like $230. I told
you better get a fucking action figure.
I better get a fucking tug job from Goku himself.
You better get something, man.
Like, Goku better fly down here and tug me off for $230. Like, that's
a lot of fucking money for a video game. That might be a fucking miss, dude.
Never gonna.
But you know what? As a matter of fact, I got reminded of you guys this weekend for the Dragon Ball stuff, because what was that one video game that they had where it was like tag or some shit where you have to like run from the characters? That was the one where like you're just civilians and you're having to like run from like Frieza. He's gonna blow up a planet. It's like a brawl. What was it called, dude?
We can fly up and tug. That's
yeah. There was like it was you play. You could be you're playing like a civilian. You got to run.
What about it? What about it? I don't remember. What about it?
Well, they're introducing the Baby saga from GT. Okay. So you're able to, if you're running against Baby Vegeta with the cool ass flat top and he doesn't have his mustache. I thought the mustache was G back in the day, but his costume was so cool with the vest, the badass boots, the gloves. Like, I don't know, you remember him all like a biker dude, right? Yeah. They have this one video. I forgot what it's called. It's Dragon Ball. What the fuck? Fuck, I forgot some of the B Breakers, the Breakers. Dragon Ball Z, the Breakers. That was the name of the game. And what it is you're playing pretty much tag. You got to run around and grab all of these items that can stop the characters from blowing up the city that you're in.
Got it.
Yeah, and you're just fighting villains. You're just fighting villains. You're just trying to survive.
There's like a million fucking Dragon Ball games out there. Yeah, I don't remember.
It doesn't help if I don't know the fucking name.
But are you planning on playing? Do you have a PlayStation 5 yet, Chris?
No, I have PlayStation 12, dude. No, I'm just kidding. I have a PlayStation 2. Yeah, I have a PlayStation 2, man. I play Battlefield 2042 on it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have a PlayStation 4 and I have a Switch and I have my PC. So
got it.
Am I playing this game? Probably not. I never really play. I'm not a big fan of the fucking visual, the fighting this way. Yeah. I don't like games like
third
that.
Person.
Whatever the fuck it's called. That's like I don't even know, man, but I'm not a big fan of that. I like the 2D style down the center. Like that's been my thing. So, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This looks fucking cool though. Looks fantastic, dude.
Yeah, if you watch some gameplay, you'll be a fan of it.
And they got like environmental destruction and all that shit now,
yeah,
right?
dude.
Yeah, dude. I think
bro.
I saw the trailer
It's
for
cool, man. It's cool as shit.
Yeah, I was like, I think
so. So what? Are we gonna go 1v1 on this or what?
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah, bro.
Okay, so what's in?
I already told them. Listen, I told you I have a group chat for just strictly Dragon Ball, and I told them they all can get their hands. You can be added to that list too, bro. Like,
so what's enticing about this game in the sense of the money? Like, are you guys interested in the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3? Like,
I'll give them $100. I got 100. I got 100 for them.
I wouldn't go higher than 100.
Yeah, I got 100.
It's still a hard sell.
It looks like a great game visually and everything. It looks fucking amazing.
Looks nice,
but
man.
like the basic for like $70, it's okay. But just to get that little extra DLC, like a couple of extra characters here and there, yeah, you know, or unlock new stages and shit. Yeah, I wouldn't mind paying 100. But $200 for a fucking little statue and shit, no thank you.
That hasn't been tested yet. There hasn't been a beta version yet, so it's like we don't know how this is gonna. Like, imagine paying $250 for a game and it's got crashing issues, right? Yeah, so it's like, and it's got to be debugged, and you got to wait for it to be debugged and all that shit. So it's like, who wants to do that? So, but look at it though; it looks fucking.
Yeah,
amazing.
It looks good. Like just looking at all the stuff they're doing, it's super good. There's like these little like they phase, which is such a cool little detail. Like, yeah, it looks sharp. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it looks sharp as shit. I mean, I'm just happy to see this. That Dragon Ball Z still out there doing some great shit.
Yeah, look, did you see what Adrian put?
No, yeah, that is the same. That's the reason why like a lot of people don't play a lot of Dragon Ball games is because they're pretty much
so good, man.
They're pretty much all the same. Look at this shit. It looks really good.
But you could say the exact look. Honestly, you could say the exact same thing for Madden and basketball.
That's true.
Yeah, or the UFC games.
Yeah, that's true.
And they still got things. But look at the way like they phase. Look at the detail in the actions. That's so good, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna sell a lot of games.
For you Dragon Ball fans, this may be the Tekken 8 for you guys, man. Or Tekken 7.
Nah, this is the one. This is the one that everyone's waiting for. This one.
I'm telling you, I'm really like I'm excited for this game. It's just that's the only flaw. Like I don't like the way they fucking sold it. Like 160 characters plus, and then it's just like fucking 15 versions of Goku and Vegeta. Like I'm telling you, like I would have just preferred just flipping through them and choosing the skin you want. And just going from there. Same thing with Boo. Same thing with Cell.
Yeah, my only thing is that I hate the fact that they think they're gonna get $200 out of me. Y'all can kiss my black ass. I'm not giving y'all $200 on that shit.
So this is the game I'm waiting for. I have part 1. I played it religiously as a younger person several years ago when it came out. This is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine Part 2. What makes it even a better, this is like you play this game and your testosterone level, man or woman, instantly rises by 7%. I think women have gotten full ass beards playing this game, the first one.
Damn, Brian, you might want to play this.
Yeah, well, this is literally where these two games were very much like Gears of War when it came to like the play format. But what makes this game so much more enticing around now is that the company that made, I'm gonna do this on fucking PC, bro. What are you talking about, my man? The company that bought it or the one that's making it, are the ones that made World War Z. So they have like the dynamic function where like when bad guys are coming, that entire crowd of villains is all killable. So like that's what makes it super amazing. I think it's called like the Horde function. So like I don't know if you remember we're playing World War Z, where all the Horde would just automatically start running over the walls and jumping, and they kind of like you'd have to like defense set up. This game has that in the same format as to when the villains and all that stuff come out, which is about right here. Go ahead and pull it up right there. So you're gonna see. Let me make it bigger. You'll see all of this like Horde work, where all the monsters are coming. And there's going to be just times where like you just get swarmed infinitely by that kind of stuff. So all of the villains in the background are just like, they're coming in by the hundreds and you just got to kill them. Yeah. So every one of the characters that comes, all those characters are individual characters you can interact with or kill them at a distance and it not fucking wreck your PC, your processor. Like, you can't tell me that's not badass. Because literally, if you understand the lore of Warhammer and it being about destruction and the rule of man and going across the world, so that way you can the emperor and taking over places and stuff. And yeah, man, this game is wild. All of that shit in the air you can fight. Like, that's just super impressive. So this is a game I'm most hype about. Warhammer 4000. Yeah, this one I think is going to come out like in 2 months. I think, I'm not mistaken. I'm going to see. I'll check out the date. Yeah, there we go. So September. Yeah, 2 months, 2 or 3 months. So yeah, this will be super exciting. I can't wait for this. This will be really, really cool. And yeah, that's my game that I'm excited for, boys. So yeah, what's this? Oh, where we at? Oh man,
damn.
See,
baby.
I was about to come back, but not with that shit. Hell no.
Yeah, look at this fucking site.
Dude, look, bro. Look at this shit.
I want this fucking. We're gonna talk like this next time, Brian.
Never.
But yeah, boys, I want to say thank you, Brian. I know you're a busy guy. I know you're always busy on Sundays. Triggs didn't get to make it. I guess he's busy building desks or whatever the fuck he's doing, but he's doing something. Yeah, Monster Hunter 2 looks wild. Looks great too. Monster Hunter looks always amazing. But yeah, Brian, I want to say thank you. I know you're always busy, so I appreciate you being able to jump on and have the full day with us, dude. That's so fucking cool. It makes me super excited when I get you. So maybe Triggs, finds time out of his busy schedule next week. Maybe, my man. Peace. And yeah, I want to say thank you, Brian and Nico. I know you had some stuff. You got to jump on late with us, and David too jumped on with us for a little bit. I want to say thank you guys for joining and being able to make some time and stuff like that. What do you got going on? Anything coming up the couple weeks, boys? Or no? Any cool things popping off?
I'm done for the summer. I have a vacation going in Mexico in November, so I'm in the house. I'm just chilling.
How far into Mexico are you gonna go? Do you remember?
Cancun.
Oh, okay, nice, dude.
Yeah,
very, very nice, very cool. And when's that gonna happen?
November.
Hey, man. Well, I hope you get to take lots of pictures.
Yes, sir.
And you post them so that way we can see them put them in the average boys, so we can see you on vacation doing some badass stuff. That'd be super dope. Eel says, by the way, SummerSlam, bro, next week.
I thought it was Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank?
I think Money in the Bank is first, and then SummerSlam, or I could be wrong.
Yo, do you have any calls for anybody that's going to be popping off? Any matches that you're really interested in?
Not really. I just hope Seth Rollins gets his title back, and then he could just resume being the most awesome wrestler on the planet. That's about it.
Michael Bedencourt jumps in at the very end of the conversation. Good to see you, my man. Says, "Hey, Brian,
you shout out, Mike."
Yes, sir. Gave you a shout out during the Acolyte talk. Mike, we got to bring you on for the Acolyte talk. But Michael Betancourt says you should consider Tequila Jalisco's and the Jose Cuervo train tour. Damn, that sounds pretty dope.
I'm on
Dope. Excellent. So you got that. Eels. Jesus Christ. Nico, what about you, man? You guys got crazy cool names. What about you? What do you got coming on?
No, basically, I'm just waiting for PokeFest, which is in 2 weeks?
Yes, yeah. We have about 2 weeks out before we got another great event coming up.
Was that like is that like some porn convention or something?
Kinda, but dealing with Pokemon and not Les Wiener and
we're talking about that kind of poke.
Yeah, not like Pokemon or.
Whoa. I'm sorry, Brian. Brian's on a whole nother category. I don't know.
What the fuck?
I think you missed that a couple weeks ago, Brian. But everybody was trying to educate me on Pokemon. That was wild, bro.
Dude, we need to do that. We need to run that back.
Brian, how do you feel about Pokemon? Are you an avid trainer?
I was a little bit too old when Pokemon came out, so I never really got on the hype. I mean, it's cool.
I keep telling people, like, a world full of Pokemon we'd be the bottom of the food chain, dude.
Look, honestly, when Pokemon first originally started, I was barely getting into high school, so my attention was on girls. I'm being serious. My attention was on girls at that time. I wasn't trying to play with Pokemon cards or anything like that.
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie though. After having my oldest son, he got into Pokemon, and just so that I could have something relatable and something to talk and kind of like have something common with him, I started getting into Pokemon. We started watching the animation, stuff like that. Then he started getting into the card collecting, and little by little it slowly built up, and that's what we talk about. That or Dragon Quest or stuff like that, video game wise, Dragon Ball, animation, stuff like that. But like that's how I got suckered into the whole Pokemon thing. So
Yo, Elizabeth in the comment section says something in the fact for Nico, and she says, "I'll be in New York for GoFest. We need to become friends for trades, Nico." Wow, dude, that'd be pretty badass.
Oh hell yeah.
That's dope. Eo said, by the way, do you think about M. Night Shyamalan's daughter making her first movie? I'm all for it, dude. Having the younger generation come up and make films is always great. It's not like we don't have a lot of space for people to show people how to make movies. So it's good if she comes up and makes a banger. She may even make better movies than her dad, man. So just give her a chance. She'll by far, she'll literally make a better movie than the Avatar movie he made. So Elizabeth says that's why Brian is getting Bucky's beef jerky.
What's the whole thing about Bucky's? Why is everybody so crazy about Bucky's? Listen, I want to try it because it's been like the hype for Bucky's.
Everything.
Like, listen, the hype for Bucky's really is like good. Up here for me.
It's because the food's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, they're really, really good. And not only that, they're like, I don't know if you're familiar with the way the company HEB here in the Valley or here in the Texas area, HEB, those people take very good well of their workers. Really? So a lot of the workers, they go into work and they're just happy to be be there.
That is fucking true though.
Yeah, Bucky's is not lying, man.
Bucky's pays you really well.
Care of its workers. Really? So when its people show up, they want to work.
Well, you know what I mean? So like, fuck the employees and their money. I want to know about their food because
that's the thing. When you have employees that are happy and they come in and they make work, they make money because they make money and they're happy.
They make good
they're gonna work. They're gonna work. So they go out there and they make the fudge. They make in that place you can buy fudge. You can buy beef jerky, and they've got a huge assortment of beef jerky. And then they have a huge assortment of like pecans and almonds that are all seasoned and all this stuff. But they sell brisket. They sell actual food. They sell fucking
shit.
They sell, dude. It's literally like a CVS, or even better, like a store at a beach. I guess that makes more sense. Like one of those like mini marts at a beach, where like you walk in and it has, if you live on the beach, it's got everything you need there. But like you go farther in and it's like a restaurant. It's got a snack bar. It sells ice cream, and you're like, okay, there's a lot of random shit in this place. And then there just so happens to be like 100 and something gas pumps outside because it's just the biggest gas station. So that's awesome. But the thing is like I said, like they take care of their workers. So the workers come in and they do an exceptional job, So everything's top quality, like all the time. So I'm guessing you've seen like when a lot of like the actors or like singers and stuff like that, songwriters are going to Bucky's and they're like, we want to see what all the hype is, and then they leave and they got like fucking hats and shirts, and
that's what I see.
Yeah. And it's pretty much what it is. It's just like the people who created the Bucky's thing or like the whole store kind of, they know what it is, man. They know that they were going to go bigger than a gas station and bigger than anything else, and they needed to make it to where that they knew that if they needed to take care of their workers to make it work. And it's literally just a Texas barbecue restaurant inside a gas station.
Elizabeth knows how to talk to me. Like that is the easiest way to fucking explain to me. Her last comment, she said it's like Cabela's and a bodega meet and have a child. Like that would interest me. I love a bodega.
Oh
I love a good corner bodega. I swear to God, I do.
Yeah, it's a fantastic.
You got me.
Fantastic.
I'm in.
And that's the thing too, is like she says 2 words, beef nuggets or beaver nuggets, and those are kind of like
beaver nuggets.
No, they're not beaver nuggets. They're like a pastry. They're like corn puffs.
Okay,
but they're super sweet, dude. They're like they're almost like a not carnival, but what is it like when you go to like a pier and they have like a show, like a livestock show?
It's
like one of those. It's like those kind of foods, like the big turkey. Like you'll get these, but they sell them by the bag, and people buy this shit by the pounds, bro.
Oh shit,
by the pounds. That's probably like one of their biggest things. But the beef jerky is really good, and the fudge is really caramel corn puffs, pretty much what they are. So yeah, man. Everybody loves this place. It's kind of like the middle ground if you're going to like San Marcos. So hopefully Elizabeth gets to get out there and get you something from there and get you a little what is it called? A little care package. Send it your way since they don't really have a Bucky's anywhere else except there.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no fucking Bucky's.
Look at Eels. Eels trying to tell me what to do. He's like, zoom out the camera. Okay, let me get it. Boom. There you go, baby.
I don't know why you did that, Eels. You're just gonna get more of it. Bro.
I get to get them better.
And Eels, man, you should know better. You've been here long enough to know that this guy he's not wrapped too tight. So you
Bro,
gotta.
I don't know where I was.
You know,
I think I was on David's show, and I was just like, dude, let me mess with this Zoom a bit. This is fantastic, dude.
I don't know why you even egg this guy on, bro. He's not wrapped too tight. I
Yeah, I'm not. This is wrong dude to talk to about Zoom in and out. But yeah, I want to say, I want them lips, baby. I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's always such a great thing. Brian, I always appreciate you being able to get time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, man. We got you on the show all the time now, and it feels so good. I wouldn't have it any other way, brother. So thank you so much. And David even popped on for a little bit too, which is really nice. Yeah. So awesome. Guys, I want to say thanks to all our extraordinary listeners, everybody in the comment section. I want to say thank you guys for always tuning in and jumping in with us. Everybody out there, we appreciate every one of you. Guys, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on your social media stuff. And our YouTube channel, we're trying to pick that up a little bit too. So if you have YouTube, want to check us out there, give us a like and a share if you can, or a subscription. And we appreciate every one of you. To all our extraordinary listeners, we hope you have a great week. Go out there and do fantastic stuff. And we'll see you guys again here next Sunday on the Average Voice Podcast. We appreciate you. Have a good week. Stay safe. Laters.
Peace.
Peace.